can be the change. Sell it right now because you see me.
and he shows up right away. You're right on. You are right on cue.
Kevin, say his name 3 times and he appears.
Hey,
what's up with your K Money, baby?
What up? Oh man,
what's going on with you guys?
Kevin, how was the 2A event today?
I'm still I have it on my phone right now because I'm still waiting for them to get to the part where I speak. So
so you're gonna be in and out.
Yeah, I get 2 minutes to scream about gun rights, so I think I can do a lot of damage.
Well, make sure you do it justice for all of us who feel like forget you and your restrictions and all these age limits.
Yep.
If kids can sign up for war at 17, they can get a dang on gun.
Oh yeah, I'm a hit him with the line. You want me to put all my faith in a police force that refused to breach a door to save children? I'm not giving them my guns.
What's up, Bryson, Ladale? Thank you guys for being guests today. I'm excited for
what it do. What it do?
What's happening?
I'm excited.
Yes, sir.
This month has been it's been a fun month for me. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I've been having fun.
I've been having a ball.
I've been making some money.
Hey.
I mean, I listen. I love being the villain. I love being the that guy because biblically it says you're supposed to be that guy because people gonna get offended and people will persecute you for Jesus' name's sake. And unfortunately, it's a lot of Christians that do that.
That's a fact.
You been the bad guy, Bryson, man. Now we call you Bishop Rough for a reason.
Nah, I'm always the bad guy. Blame Bryson. As if I wrote the Bible or something.
It's all good.
That's the funny part. Casey's been in the sun all day. Casey's lucky. No. I don't have any sun. I just have rain.
I'm exhausted because of the sun today. That was a little too much. But
better appreciate it before the Democrats outlaw it.
Now
can I go into the sun?
Right.
I'm just waiting for them to try to lock people down with this whole monkeypox thing, even though it's transmitted through sexual activity.
A specific sexual activity
between men.
Yeah,
there you go. Get it right. Get it right. For sure.
You know what? Look, you already know I'm gonna say it. I wanted to say something else, but I have to be good. This is not IG. If I was on IG, I would have said a whole lot. But I was trying to be good.
We got you, baby. Ain't no thing.
We know.
Ain't no thing.
Soonie trying to be good. This is going to be interesting.
Ain't no thing, baby. Yes, sir.
Well, let's get started.
Let's hit it.
Should we?
I'm not good at the intro, so I'm gonna let you do it, Mo.
You're better than me. Do it. Well, what I was saying before the intro started is I think
more evidence of repealing the 19th.
No, we need to let our guests introduce themselves. We have some guests on the show. As you guys can see, Russo is not with us. He's taking some time off. So we got some good guests for you today. We weren't playing with you when we said we were going to have some good guests. So you want to start first, Ladale, and introduce yourself, give your IG handles where people can follow you, what you do, all that.
What it do, y'all? It's your partner. My name is Ladale Buggs. I'm out of Texas, and I'm in real estate development and finance. I love talking about money and economic growth. I own about $35 million worth of real estate, and we have about $1.8 billion worth of assets under management as far as on the private equity and venture capital side. My whole thing is to infuse wisdom into the conversation. If that means shutting up, I'll shut up. If that means me being like Bryson, I do that too. Go ahead, Bishop.
Like Bryson, he mean the realest. You feel me? Beautiful intro. Thanks for the introduction. You know, Hey, it's your boy Bryson Gray. You feel me? I do not own $35 million worth of real estate. I don't even have health insurance because I'm a rapper. I gotta pay. I gotta pay straight cash, but I am a man of God, so that's how I'm introducing myself.
Facts.
Where can everybody follow you? You guys forgot to get that.
Bryson Gray on YouTube. I'm trying to get to 300,000 subscribers. I'm at 220 right now. Bryson Creates on IG and a real Bryson Gray on Twitter, Gab, and Truth.
Well, for me, this is my first and last name. It looks beautiful on the screen. Just write it down. There it is on all the platforms, including YouTube. And just know, just because I'm on this live stream, the value of it has went up by 15-20%. So if you're stock right now, sell it right now to make a good arbitrage because you see me. Go ahead.
Nice.
Ladale has been like, look, Soonie, this is going to be one of your most viewed shows ever because I'm here.
Oh.
So
that's some confidence right there, bro.
I love it.
It's already happened. It's already happened because it's me.
I love it.
we got to start out with the obvious, right?
You talking about are you talking about not old Bryson stuff? No, you talking about the economy?
Yeah, man.
Yes,
Bryson set
the
internet
bishop.
on fire.
The bishop. Go ahead, bishop. All right. Go ahead.
We got to. I'm gonna play a clip. Everyone knows Bryson is a homie. I called him. I said, "Hey, man," and we laughed because he already knew what I was calling for. So let me post this. Let me post this so that people can see the conversations that we have been having. They're not out of hatred, but out of just being purely fed up with what is being accepted and what is being showcased as conservatism and more importantly, what has been attached to Christianity. Now, I know everyone here is not a Christian, which is cool. But for believers, this is stuff that we are supposed to stand up and call out. And I'm going to play this clip and then we're going to let Bryson give a full contextual.
Wait, before you play it, I did not send Soonie this footage.
No, he didn't. He didn't send me this.
I still got to see you the other footage to let you see it, especially now. The footage already out. I still got to see you that other angle.
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, there's another angle?
Yeah. There's several angles. I have other videos. I just haven't posted.
I want to see all the angles. I need to see all the angles.
I haven't even seen this version yet.
You haven't seen this one? Oh man. All right, let's get into it.
Hey, I'm not.
Would you like to come up and talk about it? I love that conversation.
Oh. We have a conversation right now.
What's up, babe? Sure. Take over. You take over.
Everybody Christian to the Bible.
Boy.
Of course he read the Bible. Well, I think there's a couple of that.
It's inappropriate. We are all sinners. We are all sinners. We have all sinned. We have all sinned. We have all sinned. We have all sinned. We have all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. We have all sinned. We have all sinned. That first time. We love you.
I respect you. I love you. I respect you.
No disrespect, God, come on that stage.
I'm not in the least bothered by that. So I respect it. I believe the reason why I respect and love and appreciate that sort of reaction and commentary and perspective makes me more aligned with the right Republican Party and conservatives. Because I absolutely 100% respect your opinion and your beliefs.
No, you don't say my belief.
It's not an opinion.
I don't. I just told you I fucking do. So what am I gonna do about it?
Is homosexuality an abomination?
According to
the Bible.
Well, I've been abominated many times.
That's not what I asked
Let me
you.
tell you about the first time.
Go to the Bible, bro.
Anyway, I will cut this short. I'm not in the mood to be on stage really at the moment. I've been drinking all day at the pool. But I absolutely respect and appreciate that man's opinion. Absolutely. And then, you know what? I love him. And
Why do you call it an opinion when it's written in the scripture?
Facts.
And I walk around like this my entire life.
I don't. What he says after this point is kind of irrelevant. What caught my attention when I got the video is number one, how the audience is just chilling as he's on stage doing this. It was jarring for me. It was also very disturbing to see a security guard yelling, "We all have sinned." Duh. But some of us are not actively sinning. There are children in the building, number one. And it just wasn't appropriate. I appreciate what Bryson did. I called him. I commended him. Thank you. It's about time somebody did it. It can't just look. I've been catching flack for talking about this. I've talked about this group so many times, and I'm glad that someone finally got it on camera so that the world can see, especially the conservative movement can see, this is what we are inviting in when we talk about being inclusive.
But here's the thing. Like I said before, it's what people didn't see, which will make that situation much more crazy. I don't think anybody is surprised that I didn't allow an active homosexual that just talked about being gay for 2 minutes say he's a Christian in front of everybody. I don't believe anybody is surprised I did that. But the worst part is the before and after. So before you the first thing that came out of this man's mouth was talking about how he's a part of the Republican LGBTQ community and how they are growing and this and this and this. This is the first thing that came out of his mouth. It wasn't God. It wasn't. That's the first thing that came out of his mouth. So that already shows me he has pride in his sin. He loves his sin. He has no plans of changing. He's reprobate. And then after all of that, he talked about being a Christian. And then when I confronted him, a lot of people need to realize I made him show his true colors. Y'all heard what he said after I said it's an abomination. And then I told him it's in the Bible. He didn't say, no, it's not. He didn't say, oh, I should change. He said, I get abominated very often. I can tell you about the first guy. His name was Matt. What?
Right.
If it was in biblical days, that boy would have got stoned on stage. They would have said, what the? And then, the part of the security guard coming up talking about we're all sinners. Cap. We all have sinned. True. So once again, he was trying to quote a Paul verse in Romans, and it said we all have sinned and fell short of the glory of God. But the literal next sentence says, but through Christ we have redemption. So obviously that means to overcome that sinful nature that you were in. Anyway, that's the whole part of Romans. And then like I said earlier today, the second part people be saying is the if we say that we have no sin, we are a liar, the truth is not in us. It's just simply out of context. They don't know the verse before, they don't know the verse after. That verse is talking about before you have Jesus Christ. Christians are just, honestly, Christians might be the as far as religions go, they might be the dumbest in at least in form. And that's coming from somebody, what I'm saying, who's a Christian. They don't read the Bibles, they just listen to pastors all day. But what happened afterwards, y'all don't understand. It was like one by one, it was like a video game. One by one, Christians, people that said they were Christians, was coming out and just yelling at me. That security guard you saw on stage, he was the first person, came out yelling. And I said, do you know what the verse say before that? He said, no. We talked for like 3 minutes. He got angry. We're all sinners, brother. We're all sinners. And then he walked back in. 30 seconds after he walked back in, a black dude that was on the camera came out. He got angry. He talked about, the one without sin cast the first stone. I corrected him. He got angry. He walked away. Then that dude, then DVS walked up. And DVS apologized on live, but this is what happened. So I have to tell the story. He walked up lit. He walked up yelling, and he didn't even see what happened. He just walked up. my boy just walked up yelling and then admitted he didn't see what happened beforehand. He just walked up yelling like he had some built up anger towards me. You know how people do. And then after that, the owner, one of the owners named Tom. And by the way, I respect the owners of AMPFest, but I told Tom, I was like, God be coming for anything with y'all, keep it a band. But then when he walked me out, then police started coming. It got crazy. But
So a lot of people were asking. First of all, let me say this. So I told Soonie, because when I saw the video, I was just like, whoa, this is crazy. But I told Soonie, I was like, I don't think a lot of people understand what's going on here, because it was kind of hard to understand what you were saying or what he was saying or who he even was. So I think people weren't really grasping what was going on. But I want to explain who this guy is. So this guy is Chadwick Moore. He's the editor-in-chief of Outspoken USA, which is a platform powered by Soonie's favorite people, the Log Cabin Republicans.
Log cabins.
And you've probably seen him on Tucker Carlson. He's been in and out of Fox News. And yeah, this guy is, he's something else. Go to his Instagram page. It's Chadwick Moore. I mean, he is contradictory all the way across the board when you look at his posts after seeing this video. So I'm glad Bryson came on to talk about this, because people need to see. I think Soonie takes a lot of heat for her opinions about this stuff, but people need to see exactly what just giving a little on this subject can do.
Also, you're right. A lot of people weren't able to hear what was happening, but some people did. Because right after I walked out, outside of the people that was yelling at me, people that just simply walked out and was like, "Bro, thank you so much." Because a lot of people were telling me, like, "Bro, when he said he was a Christian," they were like, "What? How?" You know what I'm saying? So a lot of them were happy that I even said it. This wasn't like a TPUSA event. At a TPUSA event, everybody would have said, "No, Bryson, you're hateful, you're a bigot." Matter of fact, TPUSA just kicked somebody out that I know for saying stop being gay.
They did. Yep, they did.
Yeah, but and I didn't know who the Chad guy was. I'd never seen this man a day in my life. After I got off stage, Shekinah was like, he be speaking at all the Trump events. I was like, oh, cool. He needed to hear it the most then. So
That's nice.
I would do it again if it happened tonight. I'd do it again if it happened tomorrow. No, ain't nobody about to just disrespect God in front of me like that. Period.
Let me ask you something, Bryson. Have you gotten privately messages from bigger influencers that have something to say about what you did that wasn't necessarily supportive of what you did?
Not to my face. Anybody that saw it was in support. Any popular person that saw it was in support. I mean, I could probably think of a few names who would probably think it was harsh or rude, but then again, these are people that don't really care about the Bible like that. I mean, that's the thing. The only person that's somewhat of an influencer that says something about it were a few people there, but once again, a lot of people don't like the Bible. That's what it is. You have to realize something. I told this man to repent, as I'm called to do. The Bible says call out sin in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? Why was I the only person that did that? Because I bet you 90% of people in there thought they was Christian. And let me say this too, because I just thought about this. I was just talking to Shekinah about this. People act like they don't like the in-your-face approach. You are a liar. Yes, you do. I be watching y'all post all these videos when the conservative is at these school board meetings with the in-your-face approach. Everybody love it.
Mm-hmm.
I be watching y'all protest when it come to mask mandates and vaccine mandates outside of them restaurants, yelling at people as they walk by. I watch y'all do it. Y'all love the in-your-face approach until it's about that Bible and until it's about homosexuals. You know what I'm saying? That's the only time y'all don't like that approach. And then it's Bryson too harsh. And then like DVS, he apologized, but I watched many DVS videos of him in your face. I saw him knock down a BLM, tear down a BLM pole. But Bryson, it's the way you do it, bro. I think there's a better way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a better way to communicate with BLM. Who says BLM can't be saved? Who says Joe Biden can't be saved?
Thank you.
There's only one sin. There's only one sin that people have this with, because they got a lot of y'all scared, got y'all trembling in y'all panties. And I said panties on purpose because a lot of people act like women, but they got y'all trembling in y'all panties. It's the homosexuals. Facts.
You know what? You said something the other day because you were talking about sin. You've been talking about sin a whole lot, and you made such a good point. And you said homosexual is the only sin that gets to parade around proud of their sin. Like if a murderer walked around, with a flag that he killed somebody, if an adulterer did it, y'all would be screaming from the rooftops how wrong this is.
Yes.
And it's such a good point.
It seems to me like a big part of the problem is the pride that is displayed during, because it seems to me if he'd have said he was a Christian and never once mentioned that he was gay, you wouldn't have had a problem.
Right.
Well, I mean, he sounded super gay, but
it doesn't matter how he sounds. If he hadn't told you he was gay and tied that to being a Christian, you wouldn't have been upset.
Yeah. If you wouldn't have Blaze say he was gay, but here go the thing though. He was talking about being gay for 2 minutes. I didn't interrupt him.
No, that to me, that speaks to what the real problem with the movement is, which is pride is something that is reserved for someone without fault. How can I be proud when I know that I'm still with fault? And so what it does when you have people coming out being proud, who are they to be proud of anything? It's to me, it's that's why it's one of the 7 deadliest sins of pride. And that's why it's on everybody's mind, because it's so openly displayed. There's so much. This, like, to me, the worst part is the just sheer arrogance and pride that is associated with it, and that is more corrupting than anything, probably.
Oh yeah, the arrogance is crazy.
And we have to be careful, guys, too, because initially, when I first saw it, I was like, "Whoa, okay, wait a minute." Now, I'm not surprised that goes on, because I ran for public office and it ran rampant in there. And so what tripped me out is I can't supersede how I would approach something and project it onto what Bryson is doing, because of the fact that, to be honest with you guys, I was like, man, would I handle it differently? Maybe. Then I was like, wait a minute, they're out there really prideful about it. I mean, they're going after our kids. They're going to the curriculum in the schools, and I was like, we have to call it out in public as well. And they're out there in public. I mean, they coming. So I was like, well, sometimes you got to come in and say, hell no, not on my king's name. So for those that are kind of going in on Bryson a little bit on this, or even a lot, I would say, okay, I kind of agree with them when you say, okay, are you going hard in the paint for other issues? Why not this issue? Why does BLM get more vocal and more vigor, and not this issue? Both are corruptible in the sight of God. Why are you subjectively choosing things?
That was a question that I had asked, because I talked to DVS before Bryson did, and he was going off. And I had the same thing you said. I'm like, yo, I watch you yell in police officers' face. I watch you yell in BLM's face. Why don't you have the soft approach? And he said, that's different. We're trying to bring them to Christ. And I said, so you don't want BLM to be saved? Well, yeah. So why do you have this soft touch with this group?
Wait. He doesn't want BLM to come to Christ? Only homosexuals?
Hey, this is live. You can go back and watch it. I asked him straight up.
And once again, here's my thing. And by the way, for anybody that has an issue with how I handle it, I'm gonna just say I handle it biblically. I got the Bible verses to prove how I handle the entire thing. I got a Bible verse to prove every word I said to that man. I got a Bible verse to prove me standing up and doing it in public. I mean, so if anybody has an issue with me doing what I did, you don't have an issue with Bryson Gray. You have an issue with the Bible. I didn't do what God did. God just burned them all alive. And then when a lady was driving, when they were driving away, he told her not to look back. She looked back. He turned her to dust like that. I mean, so yeah, I was nice. I mean, if we talk about the Bible, of course.
What do you think about?
So I got a question for you, Bryson. Would you do anything differently at that event? Do you feel that you could have done more or less?
Yeah, I could have done a lot more, actually. And the reason I say that, this might not be what you expected, but the reason I say I could have done a lot more is because the part that y'all heard of him saying, like, I can show you the first person, his name was Matt. I was being talked to by the owner of the event. So I low-key missed that. If I would have like recognized what he said like that in front of them kids, I honestly don't know what I would have done, but it probably would have been a lot more than what I did in that exact moment. Because in that moment, I just had a thing of repent. You know what I'm saying? But if I would have really recognized in the moment of what, like, the volume of what he said is crazy in front of people. That was nuts. We talking about the Bible. I mean, I get abominated very often.
That was pretty bad. Yeah.
That one. I'm like, oh, what in the hell? I'm trying to figure out why did every Bible believing Christian, and I use Bible believing Christian very loosely, why didn't they get up and walk out?
Because they did. They did. Ladale, they got up and walked out to yell at me.
I'm rocking with you, but what I'm saying is, what was the language toward him?
Nobody did.
That's my problem. I'm rocking with you. So what I'm saying is, that's my problem. No one said nothing about what he was saying on stage, and he was doing it in the name of Jesus.
Yeah,
hey,
that's what he was doing.
That's what I'm saying. That's why when people like was walking out yelling at me, I was so shocked. I was like literally mind blown. I'm like, are y'all crazy? Me? I'm the one. This man just in front of these children. You know what's sad? 2 of the little girls came out and said, Bryson, I think he had a demon in him. Yeah. Why do these little kids know? Why these kids know better than y'all? But you know, once again, there's a Bible verse for this. Proverbs 17:15. People that condemn the people that are trying to do something just and righteous, and people that justify wickedness. Those people, guess what, y'all, are an abomination to God. So when you do things like that, you're literally just like the homosexual. And if you think Proverbs ain't enough, I know how Christians are. Bryson, that's Old Testament. We don't read Old Testament no more at all. We don't think anything of the Old Testament. Okay, awesome. Let's go to Romans 1. The last thing said in Romans 1, after it tells you homosexuals will be given over to a reprobate mind, the last thing Paul said is, and the people who condone what they do should also be put to death. Hey, that's Paul, though. Don't get mad at Bryson. I ain't make it up. I ain't write the Bible not one bit.
That's facts. I just feel overall, I feel a little vindicated. I really do. Because I took hella heat. You're homophobic. Sometimes I think I am. You're hateful. And this is not what Christians are supposed to do. I'm like, you don't read the Bible. Because I didn't call it an abomination. God did. If God doesn't like it, I don't like it.
I'm trying to figure out.
Simple.
I'm trying to figure out why you guys surprised, because if you look at Luke 17, it talks about Christ has come to separate, divide. And so if you are against the dividing, do you really know who Christ really is?
Nope. Or Yeshua, his real name, I can say in your shirt. That's his real name.
Yes, Yeshua or Yahusha, whatever. That's fine.
Yeah. I meant to tell you I like that shirt. His real name on there. You know, some people get mad when I use Jesus' real name.
You see it, baby.
Yeah,
you see
that
it.
Way. That way.
Take the picture.
We have our favorite troll here. Troll. What's up,
Jesus
Grant?
loves everyone except gay people who he made that way. What's your text?
So I do want to present to you guys like some kind of argument. So when you talk about life, what is the number one goal of an organism?
To grow.
Reproduce.
Continue. Yeah, reproduce. Yeah, reproduction is the number one driving force behind life.
Sure.
Now, when something is trying to reproduce, all living organisms have a natural sense of male to female. Like, that's how you reproduce. That's how you fulfill the same. So what would you say if you took a male lion and they legitimately had zero desire whatsoever to participate in the reproductive function? Would that lion be a functioning lion, or would that be like a mentally deficient lion?
It'd be a functioning lion.
No, it's not functioning. It's not participating in it. It legitimately is an organism that does not want to fulfill the number one driving goal of life. Which
I think all scientists will call that lion mentally. It's like something will be wrong with that lion.
Yeah, but that's naturally occurring. That's not a social cultural concept. Yeah, that's naturally occurring. So
we're not animals. We're not animals.
Gayness happens in Lord Grant.
No, the question becomes, when a man is so repulsed by the other female, or like by the vagina, to the point where they do not want to touch it whatsoever, is that something that is cultural or biological?
Okay, so
it's cultural.
First to respond to your question, you can't ask a question without giving out all factors to the question.
It's
why? Wait, let me finish. Yeah. Why is that happening? Because when you look at animals, especially mammals, they reproduce. It's like just simply
all the time.
It's just what they do. And I'm willing to bet the overwhelming majority of lions can't wait. I was just in Colorado.
Yeah, the majority of lions, just like the majority of men.
Yeah. Oh wait, I'm finished. Yeah. But what did I say? I said something's probably wrong with that lion. And when I was in the mountains. We were looking at roosters, a big rooster. I don't know nothing about roosters, but it was this rooster. And when they spread or whatever the crap they do, it get like real, like colorful. And it was three women. Yeah. 3 women was around him. They were all like around him. Like his whole goal was to impress the women. He trying to get him some. Okay.
For sure. He's trying to get it.
And when I saw that, I went through a rabbit hole looking at animals trying to impress mates or get mates.
Yeah. Okay. So
you don't see homos. You don't see homo lions. Show me one.
No.
I mean, homosexuality is present in lions. They do bang other.
Show me a video. Show me a video.
That's dominance. That has nothing to do with a sexual.
I'm also not asserting that they're not attracted to females.
No, wait. Before you finish.
Yeah. How do you prove that?
Let me refer back to my earlier question. So if it was the case that life's number one goal is to reproduce, and you have a male organism whose goal is supposed to be reproduce, and that male organism has zero desire to reproduce, is that a biological dysfunction?
Yes, but can you show me any evidence of lions being gay?
No, that's I'm not even talking about lions. I'm talking about just the pure aspect of life. If it is the case that life's number one goal is to reproduce,
I already answered
and
the
you have a
question.
male whose goal should be
We
to
answered that
reproduce.
though, and
Yeah,
you're
we-
making
But yeah, so it's biological. So what it comes down to is if God intentionally created them, what is the inherently sinful nature of their act?
Let me respond to this.
Yeah.
That is some malarkey. God didn't create them that way. They were born that way. And at some point of reproduction, chromosomes didn't form for them to do what's naturally instinctual to them. And comparing lions expressing dominance like we like to do
took
with
lions
dogs.
out of the equation.
Let me finish. Comparing animals to humans to say, well, if God created that lion and he's not functioning, then it can explain humans. We don't work like animals. We work like we're influenced by things around us. Animals don't operate the way humans do. It's a false equivalency. And God didn't create that lion gay.
Wait.
Hold on,
So what it comes down to
Bryson,
is
hold on.
they're
Before you
living
go,
in
Bryson,
sin.
but
Yeah.
Bryson, before you go real fast, it's just strange how people take out the free will that God gave men in Genesis 1:25.
Yeah,
They take that out. Yes, God created man, but then it said, and let them rule. So he literally gave man the option to choose against his will. Therefore, man could choose to violate all his principles still. And so I'm trying to figure out when people say God made people gay, I'm like, no. If you look at Genesis 1:25, that's incorrect. Man chose to go against man's commandment, to against God's commandments. It's clear.
But wait, I have a question for you.
No, but if it's biological, then that's something
biological. What do you mean biological?
That was the question.
I
It's a biological malfunction.
Wait, I have a question. I just have a basic question. So I just looked it up. Quick research on livescience.com, and there was a picture of 2017 where a photographer tried to imply that the lions were gay, and scientists debunked that claim very quickly and said let me finish. There was no sexual anything going on. It's just two lions bonding. They said there is no evidence of any lion on Earth being gay. So you claim that lions were gay. So I feel like I'm not about to give you any leeway with that.
So let's talk about the bonobos, because the bonobos 100% participate in sexual homosexual behavior. The bonobos' entire existence revolves around sex.
Listen, you brought up lions specifically. Wait.
I brought up lions, and then I took it back to just the very fact that you have life. The main goal of life is to reproduce.
Before we continue,
the biological.
Okay. Before you continue, you were wrong about lions, though, correct?
Yeah. I was.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Okay. Awesome.
That's perfectly fine, but we can use bonobos. I had seen papers that suggest that lions, but I hadn't looked up the propensity of lions to fuck each other in a very long time. But the point I'm making is that if it's a biological dysfunction, if you continue to read, as I've read this verse before, what they go on to really focus on in the very next verses is the prideful nature of the acts themselves. If you're living in sin, I'm not saying homosexuality isn't a sin. I'm not saying that. It is clearly defined as such. But what the compound is that makes it worse is the very prideful nature that goes into a lot of this behavior.
So Kevin, are you saying that man, whether it be man or woman, can biologically be born as gay?
I believe that it's 100% possible for the brain to have dysfunction.
Okay, so that was not the question.
Yeah.
Do you believe? Okay, so here's my question. So now I'm gonna go back to the scriptures real fast.
Yes.
So if the author of the Bible, God himself, says homosexuality is an abomination, but he then produces people to be gay, would that make God a liar?
God didn't say that. Paul said that.
God didn't say what? God didn't say what?
Paul, the spoken words of God himself to Moses and such, when they're talking about sodomy and everything like that, that's one thing. But when you're referring to Romans 1, Paul is saying this.
We don't need Romans 1 though. I can give you a worse verse. Want me to read to you?
No, I know the other verses that exist, but at the end of the day, like if it's a biological fact of nature, where was that created?
Well, wait. I have a question. I have a question for your biological facts. The last scientific study of can you be born gay? What was the results for that study?
They don't know. None of this stuff is conclusive. Psychology is a broken field.
Oh, there we go. But
What
what,
no, psychology is
all
you know what
theory.
the replication
Wait,
crisis is?
wait. What was the conclusion of? Because most scientists are atheists. Statistically.
No, I don't know what the conclusion is. I know I don't trust psychology.
It wasn't psychology. I said scientists. So what was the? What
No,
was
that's
the?
sociology, psychology. They have what's called a replication crisis. None of their experiments can be replicated, and they don't have any validity.
Okay,
for.
so I have a question. So Christians, like biblically, there's no evidence for people to be born gay. Atheist scientists cannot provide any evidence for you to be
no
born
evidence,
gay.
none.
Why do you think people can
It's a
be born
theory.
gay?
It's a theory.
I mean, the bonobos there's plenty of primate species that participate in
We're
homosexual.
not primates.
And I'm asking about
We
us
are. We
I'm
are
not-
primates.
Hey,
Kevin, we're talking about human beings. Can you please provide
We are
facts?
We are of the family primate.
Got it. Cool. No
Yeah.
problem. Can you provide facts showing that human beings can be born gay and go?
Can you provide facts that they can't?
Nope. Yeah, nice try.
Can you provide facts that God exists?
No,
This is a logical fallacy. This is what's called a
not.
logical
it's not.
fallacy. When you say,
so
can you
hold on, I
prove?
got you, Kevin, baby. I got
Yeah.
you, Kevin. When
Yeah.
it comes to God, even science says that there's a designer. Science says that.
Science says that there's a designer. Like, yes.
Yes.
If you want to talk
Cause and
about the
effect.
Spinozian if you want to talk about the Spinozian distal cause of life, yes, there is a designer. I'm a firm believer that the Big Bang itself is the act of God creating the universe. Because scientifically speaking, that makes the most sense.
And that's fine. So
yeah.
I'm gonna ask you the question again. I've answered your questions concerning God. So now one for one, please provide facts that a human being can actually be born gay and go.
Yeah, so the very presence of gay people's existence, the fact that a man can completely be repulsed by the female reproductive organ when the reproduction of life is our number one driving factor, says that there is something to that. Now,
That
is it
is your
make sure I'm understanding him correctly. Yeah.
So you're saying, even though there's no scientific proof, biblical proof, you saying because
I can't tell you to believe your eyes.
No,
that's your choice.
Let me finish. Are you saying that because you've seen homosexual tendencies in certain animals, you think that because that has happened, that means people can be born gay? Is that the pipeline we're going with?
I think it is perfectly possible, knowing that how intricate the human mind is, that one of the mistakes that can happen with it is being attracted to the opposite gender's sex organs.
Okay, so but is what I said correct? Though?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. So,
and nothing has been proven for or against. There is no identification of the there is no identification of a gay gene.
Wait. Keep this though. Genuine question.
Theory.
Have you looked up the statistics on the amount of people per generation that has identified as homosexual?
That's an entirely different question to ask.
I'm just asking.
No. That's an entirely different question to ask. Is it possible to be born gay?
How do you know? How do you know if it's an impossible question to ask? If you don't let me
so what percentage of women the biggest percentage of people that identify as LGBT are bisexual, majority of which are women. What percentage of those women that identify as bisexual, falling in the LGBT camp, have only had male partners for the previous 5 years of their life?
Hey, sir, why are you trying to explain something I haven't even gay?
Yeah, no, because I know where you're going with it.
No,
I know where you're going with it.
But you're wrong. Why would you even assume?
Because you're asking two separate questions. Can someone be born gay and is the LGBT conundrum going on culturally influenced?
How do you know what I'm asking if you're not letting me go through with it? I just let you go through a whole.
I apologize. Go. I apologize.
So have you seen the statistics on how many people in each generation identify as LGBTQ?
Yes, I have seen the statistics. It went from 2% to 3.2% to 9.8% to 12.4% to where we're at now at 15.9%. I believe those are the numbers, yes.
Okay, yes. So every article explaining those numbers, if you read the article, it's based on influence of what they're influenced by, right?
Yeah.
So wouldn't a more logical solution to things be what we're influenced by? Wouldn't that be more statistically evident versus just saying somebody is born gay? So I think it's based on culture. Not only is it based on culture, I think it's the foods we eat. I think it's the plastics. I think it's stuff we consume.
That's very fair.
Not only is it fair,
Yeah.
it's a proven fact that these things affect your hormones. It's a statistical fact that these things affect your mind.
But
So-
gay human men existed before those things became incredibly prevalent in our environments. Can there be multiple factors to someone being gay? Yeah, I think you've established that.
Mm-hmm.
There are
So
multiple
why are you-
factors.
why are
Being
you
molested
dying
when
on
you're
the
young
hill?
is also a tremendous indicator.
That's where I was going next.
It's a
Yeah,
large percentage of that, and then the other percentage
Yeah.
is cultural effects. And
Yeah.
if their dad is around versus if they're raised by their mom,
yeah.
then nobody's
No.
you're dying on the hill of people being
No,
born
there's
that way.
One of the
Bro, let
possibilities
me
is that people. Sorry.
finish.
Yeah.
You're dying on the hill of people being born that way and using animals to prove, well, if they're born that way and we're primates, then God designed us that way
That's
too.
a straw man. That's
How
an
is it a
absolute
straw man when I'm literally
Because
repeating
what I'm
you just
saying
said?
is I have acknowledged there are multiple occurrences of why someone would be gay. One of the possibilities is being born that way. And there seems to be evidence that can happen.
Where's the evidence?
I'm still waiting on the evidence, player.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
we've been on this subject for
Look.
40 minutes. We're not getting anywhere. We need to
Right.
move
Yeah.
forward.
Kevin, I love you, baby, but I'm still waiting on the evidence, pimp.
Give it
on some
offline.
facts.
I mean, like again, there hasn't been any kind of conclusive studies on really anything involving psychology in about 60
Theory.
years.
Which
Then
lets
there's
me
no
know it's
evidence.
theory. It's
So-
theory.
So you don't have anything supporting your conclusions either.
No, we
Actually,
do,
I
but-
did.
Yeah.
I did.
We do,
No.
but we're not on
Yeah.
this subject anymore.
Oh.
Since we're still on the topic
was fun.
of
No, I
pride,
enjoyed
it
it.
is fun. I enjoy conversations like that. Since we're still on the subject of pride, what happened in Dallas kind of ties into what happened at Coachella Valley in California, where Bryson did the AMPFest, where you have adults letting children view explicit content or hear explicit details into someone's sex life. And this is the stuff we're talking about when we say you have
This
to
was in
reject.
Dallas?
This was in Dallas, yeah.
in Oakland, Bill.
Yeah. I'm not going to play the audio because I don't want to get copyrighted for music, but
Uh-huh.
and also we can talk over it. There's kids there,
This
man.
is depraved.
Yeah, look at those kids. They're holding out dollar bills.
Look at them. They're what is that? Let's pause it right here. What do these kids learn from watching a man dressed as a woman? Like what? Why?
Mm.
Why? Just why?
Indoctrination.
Yep, that's what it
Bingo.
is.
Which makes more people okay and susceptible to accepting this perverted lifestyle. That's what it does. At the bottom line, that's the only reason why they're promoting this on every level, because they're trying to convert people into this lifestyle that doesn't allow you to reproduce.
These children,
Nope.
you see who were beside the children, right? You see who were beside the children handing them the money.
That's their,
Moms.
that's their parents. That's
the
their
parents.
parents.
This is satanic. And never mind, I won't get you banned on YouTube. Never mind, continue.
Let's use the pronouns
Thank
here.
you.
When the
Kevin does that to us enough.
take over Earth, Optimus Prime needs to destroy Megatron, is what you're saying.
Hey, yeah,
I mean,
yes. People need to go. People need to go.
I made the comment that I was like, there's no difference between what we just saw in that video and what was on stage at AMPFest where Bryson was. The only
Absolutely.
difference is one was in a shirt and tie and the other one was in, a bodysuit and leggings. There's no difference.
No
Having
real,
pride
no
in
real
your skin
difference.
is bad.
Yeah, listen, no real difference, and that's the problem. But here's the thing: conservatives will tell you there is a difference. Conservatives, because you know all these influencers. I bet you, if you go look through, what's that dude named Chad Baldwick, whatever it is, what was it?
Chadwick Moore.
Chadwick Moore. I guarantee you, if you go through enough of his videos, you will find him saying, I'm against the LGBT community and the wokeness. I'm against this stuff. I bet you go to Blair White Twitter right now in the last 2 days. I said she. God forgive me. I bet you in the last 2 days, he said, I'm against the wokeness. I'm not with this stuff. And when they say that, because when I was there, somebody I'm very close to said Christian Walker said he was against the wokeness and stuff like that. And
freaking right.
And she had hope that Christian Walker was realizing something. No, he wants y'all follows, he wants y'all money, he wants y'all support. You can't watch a Christian Walker video and tell me that boy is against the LGBT community. He's one of the most gay people I've ever seen in my life. Like I don't think I've ever seen anybody that gay.
Bryson,
Blair
I'm
White.
already ahead of you. I posted it today that this dude went on Tucker Carlson when they were talking about the Don't Say Gay bill, and he said, I'm against teachers talking about sexual orientation to children. Yet he was talking about getting abominated by Matt or whoever it was that he named as the first one that abominated him, openly in front of children. So there you go.
I knew it. Listen, these people you can listen. You don't even have to guess. These people are robots. I know what they're gonna do. I know he's done that without even watching his videos because this is how they convince conservatives to be on their side. And stuff like this. They say things, even though how can you look at Blair White like this and be like, Blair White, yeah, you're transgender, but you're against the LGBT community. You know what a conservative told me? A conservative said, Bryson, this is what a conservative said. She doesn't think she's a woman. She just identifies as a woman. Watch, I'll tweet it right now. I'll tweet it right now. And let's just keep talking. And when somebody tweets me this statement, I'm gonna just show it.
Chaos.
Oh man.
Chaos. Really
I mean,
chaos.
And the last thing that we can wrap up the pride talk, but the last thing that really sealed the deal for me was when I turned on my Xbox, and I often go to my son's profile because I check up on him. I look at how long he's been on there, what has he been playing. You get a whole report when you put restrictions on there, and the first thing I see is LGBTQ. Boom, smack dead in the middle of the screen, and it has curated games by the LGBTQIA plus community. So then I click on it. And I'm looking through the games, and they're just like really sick, depraved names. One of them is like Boyfriend Dungeon, where kids from the age of 13 and beyond, mind you, none of these games have restrictions on it per the Xbox representative. They are not restricting this to any age level. They have video games available from 13 to everyone. The video game that was rated for everyone is like a matching game where you have to put patterns together. And the further along you get in the story, the character tells you a coming of age story and how he went through life being able to accept himself being different. Are you kidding me? I reached out to Xbox. I was livid. I was pacing my house, pissed off, speaking to this representative. And he had no solutions, no answers for me besides, when this gets censored, we'll make sure that it's in the restriction tab and you won't have to worry about this. And I said, well, why is it there in the first place? You know what he said? As an advocate, I don't have an answer for you.
Trash.
Wow.
This is no lie. I posted it all over Instagram. I don't have an answer for you. So you can advertise this crap to my kid. I pay you for your services, number one. I pay you. It's not like I get on Xbox for free. I have restrictions on their accounts, which means I'm choosing what they have access to, not you, not your company, but they don't care. They don't care. He had no answers for me. You know what he told me to do? Go put it in a discussion group, and I'm sure it'll get to the people that you needed to get to.
So just first off, who's surprised? But I just want to say I posted this on Twitter probably less than 3 minutes ago. And there's already somebody that's already towing the line. This person said, at least Blair knows he's a man. Even though, listen, right. Do you know Blair White's Twitter handle? Let's find out real quick. I wonder what's Blair White's Twitter handle.
I'll pull it up.
It is Miss Blair White. His Twitter handle is Miss Blair White. So not even 3 full minutes in my tweet, you already have somebody pretty much saying, well, he's better than the rest. So Soonie, what you're experiencing with Xbox, this is the last thing I'm gonna say on Pride. What you're experiencing on Xbox is why more people need to get louder. Because how can you combat? How is a small percent of the country have this much power and pit this much fear into people? It's because Christians were taught to be soft punks, to not stand up for nothing, to live and let live. Even though any Christian that's all live and let live Christians, you're gay. You're the reason we're in this position in the first place. But when you're quiet and they're loud, who's going to have the most influence?
They are.
And they have the money behind them. They have the platforms. They have the media. So Christians need to be louder, need to be more loud about the Bible. You ain't got to make up your opinion. I mean, you already know what to say. You can just read it. So, until we do that.
I guess my question ending on pride is why on the LGBTQ side, why do they love forcing this down people's throats?
Because they don't accept themselves and they need us to do it.
Yeah, I'm rocking with 1,000%. The very ones crying out, we need to be more tolerable or being intolerant. That didn't make any sense.
Look, man.
Well, it's intentional. They are activist by nature, and it requires if you listen to any of the foundational principles behind this, it calls on you to be an activist for the cause. You have to be an activist to shift how humans think, and that requires getting to people when they're young, preying on young children. Going off to college and young adolescents are the two most vulnerable stages in every human being's life, and there's no coincidence between where no coincidence that you find this being given to your children both at young ages and as soon as they go off to college.
Yeah. Look, this is one of the games. It says create your own character outside of gender binary and romance whoever you choose. This is offered to children.
This is why
when I tell you listen, God forgive me, all right? I called Xbox and I was cussing them out. He wouldn't give me an answer. I'm like, I pay for these services and you can't give me a GD answer. Like, I was going off. I'm like, listen, I'm sorry. I know you're an agent, but this is completely inappropriate and unacceptable. It should not be happening. It shouldn't.
This is why God said, I'm sorry, this can't get banned. But this is why God said, do not let these people walk on your land. Because this is what they do.
Defile.
They defile it. That's it.
Anybody have anything else on pride? I think we really showcase why we have to reject LGBTQ. There, you cannot let it in. I know people are like, but we need the votes. Listen, you honestly don't want their votes because they're just going to subvert everything we're here about over here. They're not hopping on our train to get along or to create the society that we're all trying to create for our children. That's obvious. So why work with them?
Agreed.
Why?
Agreed.
I'm an anarchist and a libertarian, so I just want any votes I can get at this point.
Yeah, but it's not even enough LGBT votes out there to help. There's literally just not enough.
Look, everybody said F black people, F the brown people, F the Asians. Let's just form a coalition with the
my side of it is like there's a distinction between being Christian and being a Republican. You can be a Republican, non-Christian, and vote Republican. Like there's a distinction between the two. I understand that, being religious is a huge part of being an American, but you can be an American and not have a religion. That's the whole foundation of the First Amendment. And so,
not really, but you're right that you don't have to be Christian to be Republican. This country is literally a Christian nation.
Christian principles.
I understand that, but a part of being an American is accepting the fact that not everybody is going to be Christian. Not everybody's going to share your religion. That's the whole point of the First Amendment: freedom for and from the establishment. Like the freedom from the establishment of religion itself is like there's Presbyterians at one point hated Lutherans and Protestants hated Catholics, and there's
but they were
at the end of the day,
the Constitution was literally written for like religious people.
Yeah, and it's written for a moral people and morality
and religious.
Yeah,
that's a quote from John Adams.
It's built for a moral and religious, but again, the left is very religious right now, but they're not moral. And that's the problem, is that the whole point is you have to be the example that guides people to the correct morality. And it's what is the best way to be the best guide to the morality you need people to adopt to have a successful, healthy, cohesive society. And obviously we're on the wrong track. And I do believe Christianity has a lot more of those answers, but I need to get on this call to scream at the Boulder City Council really quick.
I was just in Colorado.
Man, tell them I said what it do, baby.
I'm the grassroots organizer for the local gun organization here. So I have to yell because they're trying to take our guns away once again.
Good, man. Scream for your partner, man.
Heck, man. Y'all better stop talking about giving y'all's rights up. for the greater
I'm
good.
telling you,
got
these freaking
you got
morons.
conservatives like, well, I think we should raise the age. I'm like, I
Nope.
think we should.
Nope.
Knock right
Nothing.
off
I
with
think you
that.
should just accept that there are going to be crazy people that do stuff, and we
Hey,
can't stop them from doing it.
Hey, real quick, new tweet just came in. I just want to read them as they come in. This guy said his bio is obviously ultra MAGA. He said, "I don't care what people call Blair, as long as I demanded that I do so. Blair is based." Yeah,
Based how?
it's a transgender Republican that speaks the same talking points as Christian Walker. So anybody that speaks conservative talking points is based. Even though I've met a lot of these homos in person, Rob Smith, they don't know crap about politics. Like literally not a thing. Like they literally are like walking like robots. but
I must be too white because I have no idea what you're even talking about. Like, what is this space thing? Like, what is that?
Based? That means that you're dope.
What?
Like that's fire.
Yeah.
You had a
Oh,
cool take.
jeez.
Yeah, base means like yo, base. Like it usually means like in this community, usually means like you're super conservative, like socially, so it's base. But Blair White, Blair White was just called, base, bro.
No,
You're
no,
funny.
it's just no.
What are we
Okay,
going to
so-
talk about next? We're going to talk about the Matt
Wait.
Walsh. Oh,
It's
sorry. Go
it's-
ahead.
It's coming in. Person, his bio says 18-year-old pro-life conservative, overturn Roe v. Wade, gun nut. He says, and I quote, "Female pronouns align with female names and attributes. Superficially, she resembles a woman perfectly." There it goes on the screen. So you
Disrespectful.
naturally use female pronouns. People use female pronouns to refer to cars and boats all the time. Is it that bad? Always stand Blair. She's a goddess.
Oh, Lord.
And here's his bio.
Go to the bio. Yeah. Conservative.
Ethan White.
Yeah.
Woo!
I told y'all.
love
I
it.
did it to prove it.
18-year-old pro-life, anti-death penalty conservative overturned. Oh, Lord. What? How can you?
How are you anti-death penalty, man? Like,
No, dude.
Casey, listen, you got to come to the dark side, Casey. It's real over here.
Oh, Jesus.
We're gonna
Those
make you
people need
based.
Jesus.
We're gonna make you based, Casey.
Yeah, must be.
Oh,
Jeez.
snap. The bottom line, what I hope people take from this, hearing Bryson talk about what happened at a conservative event, Trump and the RNC forming an alliance with the log cabin Republican group. It's called the Rainbow Coalition. We're talking about it for almost 6 months now. Lost hella followers behind it. People calling me anti this, anti that. They're proving me right. They're pushing their agenda, and we are allowing them to do it because we're worried about votes. I'm sorry to break it to you, but Republicans don't have any policy that is attractive anyway to even bring voters over here. That's why the left is winning the game, because they understand how to market and how to pull at heartstrings. I think it's okay with doing it as long as you're doing it with logic. They have no logic.
Yeah, this is probably the easiest race to win in 2022.
Oh, for sure.
The easiest race, and I'm interested to see what is from a national standpoint. What is the Republican plan? If you can't counter this, what's going on? Please don't run. Matter of fact, retire from being a politician because you suck.
Yeah. Well, and Tuesday's going to show more of that. You have 7 states primaries on Tuesday, and if it just
shout out
continues
to
the
Billy
same
Prempe
swing-
though. Billy Prempe won his primary out in
Oh, he
New
did?
Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Billy's been doing awesome.
Pastor Brian, I don't know if he got his results yet. Pastor
Not
Brian,
yet.
not yet.
I'm looking it up now. Not yet at all. Pay attention to Oklahoma guys. T.W. Shannon. I don't know, when is Oklahoma's primary? Is it in 7 days?
I don't know.
I think they are on Tuesday. Let me look it up.
Okay.
real quick.
Okay.
I have no clue.
Yeah, that California is not. They're not reporting yet. It's just 7 o'clock over there, so nothing yet.
Hey, all I know is
theirs
I've been
not
not
until
here.
a lot later.
They look. Everybody was anticipating this red wave. I've been out here. None of y'all talk about no funny business with the election. I've been out here.
Right.
Nobody.
Oklahoma's primary is June 28th.
June 28th.
June 20. Okay, gotcha. We're gonna see what TW does. And Joe Collins, he's actually on the ballot today, right? Joe?
Yeah, I think he is. Yep, he
I
told me
think
he
he
was.
is. Yeah.
What district is he in?
I don't know specifically what
He's in
district
a new
in
district
California.
though.
Oh, word. Okay, I'll
It's
look
not
it
the
up.
previous one.
I'll look it up.
So, Joe Collins for California, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in House, California, District 36.
36.
Cool.
And yeah.
It's
like-
Well, as everyone knows, Russo's got a podcast called Blunt Force Logic. We're going to play a 2-minute clip so you guys can see what you're going to be getting. Please go subscribe. Casey, I think you have the details of how to find it. I'm not really versed in that.
Yeah, it's actually just slight correction is blunt force discussion.
Blunt Force discussion.
We have a little clip of a teaser video that's getting released on Wednesday, and that's what we're going to show a little bit of. And then we have our first big recording on June 15th with Chad Prather. So that's going down on June 15th. We'll be releasing that weekend. And so, yeah, I'll post a link to the Facebook page and the YouTube page in the chat.
Hey, Russo, you got to have my boy Bryson on.
I agree. I second that.
That would be a hell of an episode.
You know I'm with it.
All right, everybody. Our doctor today is a cardiac surgeon. He's also author of a book called Healthcare Anonymous, Put Yourself First to Avoid Anxiety, Addiction, and Burnout. If I could, I'm going to introduce our doctor, Dr. Simon Malte. What's going on, Doc?
Hi, Anthony. How are you? Serious issues, but that's on them, right? Once they know the information, they can decide to have it or not.
But who's providing that information?
What do you mean in terms of what?
The whole, I mean, like you said, like you just said, it was, you can choose to take it or not take it. But if you're not taking it, you're risking XYZ, hospitalization, death, things for people around you, which in the end have been, all studies have been proven that it's not necessarily true in terms of the spread. It's not in terms of the actual ability to get it, protect yourself. There's still some studies showing that if you're boosted multiple times, you are not going to be hospitalized as much. So again, there's that little bit of shred of efficacy, but at the end of the day, who is the one saying this stuff that would make?
I mean,
why do you say it?
You have to rely on consensus, and what we're getting into now is the level of consensus, right? So if you've studied, for example, heart surgery for 35 years, you know that if you have a pretty significant lesion or 3-vessel disease or left main bun disease, or you have aortic valve disease, that the mortality is 1 year, because we have thousands and hundreds and years of experience with it. Now, the level of evidence for COVID is probably at best 2A, 2B. It's a expert's opinion based on trends, based on for a very short time observation. So it has the potential of being wrong at times, and that's okay. And you have to trust something. Now, should we trust the media? Absolutely not. I think we should trust our organizations. Should we trust people that are watching TV or form their own opinion about it? I don't think so. I think people, unless they have a PhD in virology or something.
Oh, okay. Look.
I can't.
Reach the two limit video. What?
I was
What?
like, this guy. No.
That's
whack.
like the cop argument. You got to be on the force. No, I don't. I'm gonna have a crit. That's like saying I got to be gay to have a criticism of being homo. What?
That guy is nuts. And
crazy.
he is a doctor. He is
Wow.
actually a doctor, and he is supporting the vaccines and everything around.
Well,
stuff.
Blunt Force discussion, everyone. Go follow. Go check out that episode.
Sure.
You said the 15th?
What was that?
The 15th of June? The
So
first
the
episode?
15th. Well, we have this episode. This video will be
Okay.
released on Wednesday, and then June 15th, we're recording the episode with Chad Prather that will be released that weekend. So next weekend.
Man.
Yep.
Next on the chopping block, we got.
Can we jump around? Can we jump around to the Janet Yellen? Because I want to get Ladale in on this conversation.
Yeah, let's go.
I just muted
Janet
Ladale a little
Yellen.
bit for the background noise.
Okay. Janet Yellen is is another reason we should repeal the 19th. It took her long enough to
Oh, geez.
openly already admit what we already know. But
Right.
What happened? What I miss?
Janet Yellen is finally coming out saying she was wrong about inflation.
Okay.
She also said, when she first came out with this, she said, inflation will happen, but it won't be bad. It's just something that happens. We'll get over it. Don't worry about it. The government will figure it out. And now she's like, I was wrong. It's actually pretty bad. And we want to talk to Ladale on it because he's good with the finance and the economic aspect of America and how they're purposely doing things to cripple us.
Here we go.
What do you got to say, Ladale?
What you got on Yellen? I think
Well,
we repeal 19.
Number one, if you're coming out and saying that you made a mistake, first and foremost, I was called a fearmonger. I said, y'all, inflation is happening. As soon as he got elected, I said, y'all, it's going to be bad. First, I said, I know what I was talking about. We had a big enough GDP. Then I was told that I was a fearmonger. Then I was told that Ladale, it's going to be okay. We're going to experience this a little bit, but it's going to be transitory. That word does not exist. It's made up. It's made up. Okay. And then what happened is when it came to her, then all of a sudden she says that, well, it's going to be transitory. It's going to be temporary. And all of a sudden now she said, I made a mistake. You should be fired. You have to go. Your sole job is to do one thing. Share what's going on with the money when it comes to the economy. You and the Fed chairman, you need to go. I've never seen somebody fail so bad over the last 2 years and you get promoted. What is this? This is ineptitude. This is dumb. Dumbassness.
That's how the government does it, though.
Well, here's what I'm saying. When it comes to the government, they forsake all of private economic principles. That didn't apply to the public financing at all. It didn't make any sense at all. I'm trying to figure out when she will get fired. I'm waiting. How you gonna get on TV talking about I made a mistake? I made a mistake. It was my fault. You need to go. Resign now. You got to go. Man. It made no damn sense. It don't make no sense. And for those talking about, I'm gonna keep going. And for those talking about when it comes to this gas pricing, real quickly, that is Putin's fault. Get a life. You don't know what you're talking about. Look at the damn charts, man. As soon as this dude got elected, it went up $2. $2.
Yeah.
$2. Then Putin actually happened. So what was it Putin before that time? So in other words, if it was Putin, Biden had he was Nostradamus. He was Christ Jesus. He knew this was going to happen. And so he had to point back in time and then say he's going to say, well, it's Putin. Get the hell out of here. If that's what you're saying, please, I have some swamp land. We need to talk about it. You're gonna lose money every single week. But it's a good investment. Holla at your partner. Y'all can go. Hey.
Oh man.
I think you're muted, Kevin. We can't hear you.
You can't hear you, Kevin.
Yeah. Pulling a Soonie, man.
Can you hear me now?
Now
Yeah.
great.
Dang,
I was just saying, in the Army, we had a saying: "You fuck up, you move up." That's what it was. You fuck up, you get promoted, and that's just what the government does. If you're terrible at your job, guess what? The easiest way to get rid of you is to bump you up the ladder.
They just move you to somebody else. They make you somebody else's problem.
Yeah,
That's how we ended up with Biden as a president.
Notice he said
Bryson,
the Army, though.
I have another assignment for you, Bryson.
Your husband will contest to that, Soonie.
Bryson, I have another assignment for me. I'll pay for your ticket. I want you to fly up to Washington, walk into the to the Treasury, and find there's several texts, and point them out to Janet Yellen and say, when are you going to resign? This woman's trash.
Somebody got to do it.
You also can't stop off at the health secretary's office, okay, and complain about her deal, okay?
Oh,
talking
about
straight to the treasurer.
Richard Levine.
Nah, if I go, I gotta go all out with it. Everybody gets something.
Hey, you're disrespecting the first 4-star admiral thingy in military history. Okay, trans admiral.
It makes no sense, guys. This is purposeful, guys.
It is purposeful.
For those that vote for Biden, why are you complaining about what's going on? This is what you voted for.
No, like Pete Buttigieg has come out and said this. Like, we want you to have electric cars. The representative from Michigan just said today, "Well, I just drove here from my home state of Michigan to Washington D.C. and I passed by every single gas station." They hate the Porzies.
And then I said, "Great." And then I said, "Great." And guess who paid for for all that traveling? Us. You big old grifter. You's a grifter. Get you a real job. You know what I'm talking about? Get you a real. Start a business. Do something profitable. Everybody in government ain't ran not one business. Not one. Well, a couple of them. Not one business. But you guys are making monetary policies. Get the hell out of here. We might as well go ahead and hire our grandmamas to run this. They'll do a better job than them. Ain't no damn sense.
We need to end the Fed.
End the Fed.
Your grandma could probably do a better job because if you told your grandma, "Hey, like we just create this." Like, yeah, end the Fed is all it's about.
Why don't more conservatives push that though? For real. I hear very little conservatives pushing the end of Fed movement.
Because they're all in bed together. It doesn't matter.
Well, I understand the politicians. I'm more so talking about the constituents. Amongst us.
They don't know. Everybody who listens to everything on our show, all they hear about is end the Fed. Anybody who listens to the Libertarian Party hears end the Fed. Like, that's like, it's growing, but the problem is that it's been a great source of power for both parties for far too long.
Man, pin that comment. It's called price gouging. Get the hell out of here.
Grant.
Oh, geez.
What are you talking about, Grant? Bruh, go back to school. Take an economics class. It's something called supply and demand, okay? Or consumption or production. Reread that book. Then come back and talk about price gouging. Really?
You and I talked about the scarcity issue. Ladale, you and I talked last night about the scarcity issue with the current money.
Scarcity is an illusion.
Yeah. They have this $1. Everybody else's dollars have scarcity attached to ours, but ours has none of it. So we control everybody.
Grant, do you understand how oil and gas actually works? It's a futures market. They are actually betting on the future. If you actually look at the gas stations, guess how much the gas stations actually make on the gas? Take a wild guess on the amount of the profit. A wild guess. 15%.
Dang.
Out of all their profits, 15% come from gas. 15%. Where's the price gouging at? Read it down.
The first time Grant goes silent.
Read the book.
Yeah, I bet you he leaves. Oh, do you understand how money works? Oh my geez.
You're asking the money man, but okay.
I mean, he's trolling hard, but
I know he's trolling, but I would engage the troll for a brief second.
Yeah.
Actually, I actually do. Let me give a little class. When it comes to Federal Reserve, they will never abolish it at all because they can never stop printing. Because somebody like you most likely actually owns a lot of stock, and that stock is actually inflated because the Federal Reserve put too much money in the bank. So what's happening is your 401k IRA, Roth IRA, most likely is losing value by my real estate and my rental income, and I'm getting records amount of cash coming in. I'm loving this inflation, big dog. So no problem. Whenever you actually save on your 401k and IRAs, Roth IRAs, you're actually investing with me because the money comes to me. So keep on saving how much you want to save in those retirement accounts. My bank account thanks you so much.
This is why you just take out 20 credit cards out and max them, That doesn't matter anymore.
He's over there panicking on how he's going to cash his McDonald's check on Friday.
Right.
Bryson, were ticket prices for flights, were they astronomical?
Ridiculous.
Listen, I got it early enough where there was like 400, 500 a person. But I was trying to get the Palm Springs airport in Cali, trying to get it back to Tennessee. It was like 1,400, 1,300. I said, boy, y'all better stop. Because it's me and Shekinah and my sister.
Yeah.
So I said, man, we drove an hour and a half to a whole different airport. I said, boy, I
know that's right.
I said, I got money, but I ain't stupid.
Right?
Well,
hey,
I have a surprise for you guys.
Give me 8 months, brother. You can borrow the jet next time, all right?
All right, hey, I need a jet. I need a jet.
Ladale's flexing on here now.
Yeah, geez, I'm good.
No, I'm coming to the States, everyone.
Man, don't say 2024 either.
No, I'll be home this summer.
Hey,
Let's fucking go.
Turn
The
up.
military is giving family members free trips back home because our family hasn't been able to come here, and we've been locked here for almost 2 years. So me and the kids will be there. If I can travel and figure out arrangements for my children, like leaving them with my in-laws, I will be coming to certain events.
Hey,
So
drinks.
this is what the government's wasting our money on. Got it.
It should be wasted on us. Shoot.
How can you tell me earlier?
It was a surprise. I know everyone's been asking me, like, when are you coming back?
We're excited.
I've been getting invites to events, but I'll be there.
Hell yeah.
Tennessee is a hop, skip, and a jump for me, so I can just cruise on over to Bryson's house. Not a problem.
So true. We got a guest room up in here.
For sure. Oh yeah, and Grant, big dog, you said so you then came back and this lets me know you haven't read a book yet. It's all good, baby. I help you out. I'm professor today. No problem. You said so we just don't pay attention to any of the record. You said record amounts of profits. What are those records? Give me the numbers. Who's talking?
He doesn't have an answer for you. He just likes to argue.
He does, and that's okay. But
I think he's a woman looking because only women do that.
Oh, the pain.
Thank you, Grant. Thanks for tapping that, brother, because it was getting really bad for you, man.
Look,
Rhonda,
Google
is
it.
that you?
My man said Google it. Yes, sir. Spoken like a true person.
It's on the internet.
When somebody says Google it.
Yes,
So, yeah,
sir, baby.
He definitely trolling.
Yeah, I know. It's all
yeah.
good.
He's our
He's been
resident troll.
retired. He's been retired, man. You get an F today. It's okay, baby.
Oh wait, Mo, don't read it out loud.
What's up?
Oh, jeez.
Is that Rhonda? What'd she say? Wait. Put it back up there. What did she say? I don't have my glasses. We've already determined Rhonda was Grant. Oh, see, I said that. I knew Rhonda.
Wait.
I knew he was a dude.
Somebody said Grant Bull is Mitch.
But hey, to be honest with you, me and Mitch actually had a discussion about gas. It didn't go well for him. I love him though. It's my dude. You good with me, big dog. You good with me. When it comes to inflation and gas, stay in your lane, pimp.
Too bad.
No, y'all gonna putting that out into the ether. I see that on all my posts now. Don't do that.
Hey, yeah, I already told her that I put on the song. No cap. I've been told her that. And by the
Why
way,
I sit up that speaker and do nothing?
nah, hey, if you pull up to Tennessee, hey, I'm sitting at the studio right now, Sue, right beside me.
You can put Soonie in the video.
And we can shoot this video. We can shoot the music video right there and there too. No cap. But you said Mitch. You said something not his lane. I'm gonna be the band. I don't know if Mitch in here nothing in his lane. I've never heard my boy have a coherent thought, and I'm not saying that as a biased person. Sometimes I'm not playing. Sometimes I let Mitch on my live just to talk junk the whole time, but I never take Mitch seriously because he's like I bet you if you took an IQ test, I'm willing to bet money his IQ is probably like an 82.
Come on, man. Hey, when it comes to stocks, man, Mitch is a monster in the stock realm. He's a monster.
He know about stocks for real.
Oh, that's what he does for a living for the bank. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the bank. Yeah. He's a stock dude, man. He's a monster. You know that.
Oh, okay. 85 IQ. I give him 85.
Hey, I'm not the only one who said it. I said it first, and everybody was like, "You're just being me." I'm like, "Nah, bro." Something may between that gray matter.
But to kind of put a pin in the economic side real fast, guys. If you have a 401k, an IRA, a Roth IRA, a 403b, pick a retirement account. If your money is in that market right now and it stayed there, I advise you to move it because the recession is right around the corner. We're talking about the next 30 days.
Yeah.
You better move it quickly.
Yeah.
If not, it's going to be gone. I'm looking at a 50% minimum correction. 50%. And this is for instance, Austin right now is at a 35% inflation right now. 35%. The national average for inflation is about 5%. Do the math. They're gonna get slaughtered. Dallas, 30%. Houston, probably about a 50% correction. It's coming. Any major metropolitan area, when it comes to real estate, guys, there's gonna be between a 30 to 50% correction. In the next 1.5 years, you're going to look at probably around a 50 to 70% inflationary mark on all that you're buying.
Where do you suggest you move? As somebody said, where do we move it to? Where do you suggest?
I would say what I do with my money is I have it in a life insurance policy environment. The reason why is because it's not invested in the stock market. It just mirrors the S&P 500. I have a floor which is 0, and I have a ceiling which is 10, and I'm able to benefit at compound interest. Right now, my return in a life insurance environment is outpacing inflation right now. At the exact same time, my minimum return in real estate is about 25%. That's my minimum return on every investment. For instance, I bought an entire subdivision in Mississippi, Starkville, Mississippi, about 3 minutes from Mississippi State University. We bought 15 properties already built, already cash flowing, 18 lots already divided out for me to build on. And I told Kevin this yesterday. I bought the 15 properties for $1.7 million. It's worth about $3 million. I bought the 18 lots for $10 total. $10.
Did y'all hear that? $10 for 18 lots.
18 lots, ready to build on. I have no debt on the 18 lots. Now, watch
I'll
this.
give you $1 for 3 of them.
No.
I'll give you $10 for 3 of them.
No.
Right.
I would
I'll
say,
pay, yeah, you'll pay full ask.
the entire investment right there, guys, is worth about $9 million. I'm tickled pink for the recession. I'm ready. I am tickled pink.
Yeah, you're about to
The
make
reason
bank.
why, man, it's gonna be so many sales, y'all. Oh, it's gonna be like taking candy from a baby. My question to you: are you ready?
Right.
If you're not,
Get ready.
if you're not, I'll see you at the auction, and I may be buying your house.
So,
I've got all
Ladale,
the
do
debt in the world.
you think this will be worse than 2008?
Oh, easily. 2008, it's going to be a trip to the candy store compared to this, because 2008 was just real estate alone. That's all it was.
Right.
There was still faith in
Here
the economy
Yeah.
at that point, wasn't there?
Exactly was. This is across every industry. Think about this, guys. In California, guys, on the supply chain side, remember how they were saying that, hey, guys, we're going to open up all the ports in California? Lies. Only one is open 24 hours. The rest are shut down. That's the reason why they actually diverted from going to California over to Florida and also Galveston, because Abbott, governor, he's good sometimes, and DeSantis, who should run for president, in my opinion, he said, come on in, guys, we'll take you in. So that's what's really going on. This is by design.
Yeah.
Just look at the policies.
Ladale,
So
someone asked, someone asked, how can you move a 401k that is with your employer?
Good question. What I can do is I would talk to a wealth advisor. I have one that I use. I recommend 2. One is Deontay Ford with Thrive Wealth Solutions, and another one is Brandon Anthony Clark with another one with Thrive Wealth Solutions. These guys can walk you through the entire process. I make no money on it at all. This is their craft. This is what they do. I tell everybody, before you come to me, when it comes to real estate, go see them. Insure your money first. Put it like this. Whenever you actually go make a deposit or you get a direct deposit into your bank, guess what the bank does with your money? They actually go and place it into a life insurance policy. That's what they do with your money. Then they borrow from the life insurance company and put it back into the bank. Why not copy that? You can.
Right.
They invest none of their money in any of their deals. None of their money is exposed. Your money is. Not theirs.
Well, in reality, nobody's money is exposed because money doesn't really exist and there is no value attached to it. So what really matters?
Sure, man, that's great. And you have to go to the store and buy some. That's great. You have to go to the store and buy some food. That's great.
I mean, that's what this card is for. Money doesn't exist. It's right here. That's what this card is.
I'm agreeing with you, Kevin. And you have to go to the store and buy some food. Now what?
Like that's when I turn to OnlyFans. Really, that's.
Oh Lord! Nobody wants to see that.
It's a good thing that account is in the negative right now.
At what age are you suggesting to? Someone said, at what age are you suggesting to? You can actually, I know with my kids, we put a policy on my kids when they actually came out of the womb. Now, that may not, didn't do that at all. Probably most people didn't do that at all. And that's okay. You can do that anytime. And so that's why I say, talk to a good wealth advisor, a good one, because there are some bad ones, some really bad ones. They really are.
What's up, Bryson?
Awesome.
Looks like you want to say something.
Nah, I was trying to
Bryson.
kill this dang on fly I can't catch. But listen, I do have a question. If anybody knows, I saw it on Twitter, didn't know. So let me ask a question here. So we're talking about business in some way, shape, or form. I was at the airport in Cali, in Houston. We had to stop in Houston. There was one place open, and they had a thing where like they did not accept cash at all, like no cash. Period. You can't pay with cash. I heard through Twitter. Of course, Twitter is like lower IQ people, but people on Twitter said that is illegal. That they have to accept cash.
So airports are a different jurisdiction. There's a reason why you have duty-free zones in airports. They exist in a different jurisdiction. All debts called for in U.S. tender must accept U.S. tender as payment for them. That's what the law is supposed to be. But like private sales, airports are a different jurisdiction on this front. That's why they have different tax codes. That airports exist, and they're kind of in a gray area on the subject. Typically, places aren't allowed to tell you no, but you kind of have to sue them to get them to accept it. And at that point, it's not worth it.
Oh, so airports probably can do it. Okay.
Yeah, but like at the end of the day, to figure out that for sure, like the only way to really find out is to sue. And are you going to sue because they wouldn't take your $12?
Yes.
Go for it. Yeah. If you want to do that, like wait 4 years, let me get my degree, and then I'll represent you for a very, very, very low price.
Okay,
Kevin, you know we have to. That's the only way you fix these things is take it to court.
Yeah, but
well, I would just say put your money behind something tangible. Get it out of the non-tangible and get it behind something tangible. Real estate, silver, gold. But I would say before you do any investing, insure your money through a life insurance contract. Insure your
silver
money.
bullet.
Insure it. Yes. Yeah. The banks do it. Why don't you?
Yeah, that makes sense. Here's the silver bullet for you. It's an ounce of gold. But my dad actually smuggled this through an airport. So
how much gold goes for it? And I do have a question. Okay, I have a question for Ladale.
I'll tell you right now. Let's go for it.
How will gold be profitable? I've read, I've watched, but nobody have gave me a clear explanation.
Because it's shiny.
On the actual value of gold and why you should put your money in gold. How, like, what effect would that have?
Yeah,
explain
it's
shiny.
That's a great question. I don't buy gold and silver to make money. I do it to hedge against inflation. That's why I buy gold and silver. But to answer your question a little bit more, is whenever inflation actually happens, people's confidence in the actual what they call a fiat currency goes down. That's what actually determines the value of our money. It's a fiat currency, which means here's a stat. There's been 2,000 fiat currencies throughout history. They have a 0% success rate. 0%. Yeah. All of them have failed. And it actually happens when they separate that fiat currency from a tangible backing like a silver or a gold. So now when it comes to silver, why do I actually hedge against that? Very simple. As soon as inflation goes in and people's confidence goes down and the value of the dollar, which is tanking right now, is really gone, it drives the value of silver and gold up because now you're in a commodity-based economy now.
What is the value?
But
like how does it?
Gold,
listen, what is that value in
conductor on planet Earth? Silver is the best conductor on planet Earth.
Okay, my question is though.
Yeah.
My question is though, I can't. I'm pretty sure if I try to take some gold to McDonald's, they're not about to give me a double cheeseburger.
Of course. So you're talking about how can you begin to barter or trade or do something with the gold? How would that benefit you in this way? Which is a phenomenal question. What actually happens is as the dollar tanks and commodities go up, I'm also going to use gold and silver goes up. What happens is no matter the currency, the ruble, even the newer currency, because they're actually trying to usher in a newer currency as well as this one tanks in. What's going to happen is that wealth transfers over. Someone would say, "Hey, Bryson, you bought right now. I think an ounce of silver is about $26, which if you're trying to buy a lot of silver, I think gold is about $2,500 an ounce. I don't buy gold because to me that's too much for gold. So what happened is now all of a sudden, let's say the dollar tanks. Now your $26 investment goes up to $26,000, $200,000, because the value of it is so much. Because silver is in everything. It's in your headphones. It's in your microphones. It's in your TVs. It's in your laptops. It's in your cars. It's in every single thing. And because it's widely used, it becomes more valuable.
Yep.
That's why.
So my question is, are you saying you can then sell the silver?
You
if
could,
the price,
if you would like
is,
to.
is that what you're going to? Because you said the value goes to 26,000.
Yeah.
How do I
Yes.
get that 26,000 from my $26?
There you go.
Yeah.
You can look at it if you want to, because they're going to say, hey, someone will say, hey, I'm seeing silver go up in value no matter the currency. Hey, Bryson, are you willing to sell an ounce of your silver? Now you get to make a decision.
Okay, see, but
Yes or
now
no?
now my question is, if that's the case, because you wouldn't be selling silver to your regular Joe, you'd be selling it to like companies. If silver is and everything, you have to sell it to like a company or somebody trying to create something. But
Sure.
wouldn't they already have a bunch of silver?
Some of them do, some of them don't. It depends on the company.
It's scarce, man. It's you have to mine silver. You have to produce silver.
Yes.
Silver gets
Sure.
put in everything. So you have to, only a small fraction of all the silver produced every year goes into being money. So when you buy this ounce, if all the silver that they need for production disappears, this has an immediate need in the market and its value is going to skyrocket. Like, because it actually has a use beyond just, I think silver is nice and shiny. He's not joking. This microphone has silver in it. This is the best conductor on planet Earth.
My last question is, what has more value to products? Is it gold or silver?
Depends.
Woo! It depends. I lean towards silver because of the functionality of silver. That's just me. Some people may say gold because of the functionality of gold in their context. It really depends on the need.
Okay, well, send me the link to buy some silver.
Yeah,
I'll spend a quick little $1,000, see what I can pop off.
Well, there was a time when aluminum was more valuable than both, and then we figured out how to produce more aluminum. And so, like, what it comes down to, a big part of the issue is gold is shiny. Like, there was legitimate journeys for gold, so people could have gold for shiny, and it had value attached to it. Because if you have a nice shiny gold chalice, well, that can actually be money at some point too.
I mean, what we actually did right now is exactly what Rome did.
Yep.
What actually built Rome was not, and they were never conquered. They began to debase their own currency.
Yep.
That's how they began to actually pay their troops, the soldiers, people. They began to debase it with copper over and over and over again. And there was also a moral decline as well. Also, but I'm not going in that way. I'm sticking to the economics of this thing. That's how Rome fell. Is they begin to debase their currency, just like we're doing now.
Yeah. Would you say that because of the necessity of scarcity, and there goes my computer again, I believe, because of the necessity to scarcity to anything you're doing, just violating the fact that fiat currency does not need something to actually produce it. It can theoretically exist in infinity. No matter what it is, if it doesn't have a scarcity attached to it, it's going to fail. Just look at, for those of you watching, look up the value of the ruble right now. And I'm going to ask you before you look it up, is it more valuable now or than before before the war? And what happened between those two instances?
Oh, it's simple. That's simple to answer. It was more valuable after the war.
Yeah, they have it pegged to not only their oil but gold. You can actually turn the ruble into gold, and that gives it a fine Yeah, so it's like
right now,
why we need to kill
gold
the Fed.
Right now, gold is at 1 ounce. You have the cost is $1,852.15.
1 ounce.
The cost, 1 ounce of gold is $1,852, and 1 ounce of silver is there we go, $22.27.
Wow. There was a time when an ounce of gold was worth $35 US.
So so silver is how much again? Repeat that again. I'm sorry.
It's $22.27.
And you said that'd be that. So I should spend like a band on that. I'm only putting the band up now. You hear me?
Now, what I did was I actually buy silver. I actually have silver bars. And I have them.
That's what
and
this
I,
is.
10 ounce bars?
10 ounce, yes. I buy them. And I have a deal that I use here in Dallas to actually buy them. And so I'll spend some money to buy it. And I have several bars. And it's not to make money of it. It's just to hedge against inflation.
You send me the link though.
I'll see you link. No problem. I got you.
Okay.
I got you, big dog. I got you.
Prices said inflation. I'm trying to prepare.
I'll be honest. Rappers usually like music still gets consumed regardless.
Yeah.
So music actually, people like music isn't a real job, but music actually lasts through pretty much anything. Matter of fact, When times
It sure
get rough, people probably listening to more music.
You know what? That's so true because I remember when COVID first started. Remember all those online DJs? They were playing music.
Yeah.
That was the best. I love that. I wish
They were having like
bring that back.
5,000 viewers who at one time making that bank.
And
Right.
especially badges too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Culture
All
is
right.
always a necessity for people, man. We love culture. We love the social aspect of life, and music speaks real deep to the human nature. So
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but you know what else we need? We also
Food.
need my Patriot
Yeah.
supply.
yeah, we do.
We need some food, okay? The way some of y'all be eating, I know you guys need to listen up, okay? So turn up your volume, okay? Friends, as you guys just heard, Ladale was talking about scarcity and how fragile things are right now. He was talking to you about insuring your money, making sure that you are smart with your investments. Be smart also with your pantry and prepare for the instability that is for sure going to come here, no matter what Joe Biden tells you. So you have to ask yourself, do you have enough emergency food on hand to get you through a severe shortage? I'm willing to bet you don't, because last time we went through this, I remember people were acting wild up in the grocery store. Anytime you guys hear the word shortage, y'all go mad. So we are here recommending the My Patriot Supply, which is America's largest emergency preparedness company. Act quickly, and right now through us, you will save $150 off their virtual 3-month emergency food kit, which contains a wide variety of delicious meals designed to give you over 2,000 calories a day, which is what y'all should be eating. Some of y'all be eating 4,000 calories, and you need to cut back, okay? Because Patriots playing it a last on that. You get breakfast, lunch, dinners, drinks, and snacks, which is 3 solid meals per person. This is something every American family will soon wish they had ordered. These kits are in stock, they ship fast, and they will arrive quickly in unmarked boxes for your privacy. So go to preparewithbtc.com and save $150 on each 3-month food supply kit. Buy it now, do it now, and preparewithbtc.com. That's it.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. All
By the
right,
way, I
last
got cut off
subject.
and prevented.
I'm sorry, what?
I got prevented from speaking.
I'm sure.
Who prevented you
very
from
long-winded.
speaking?
Yo,
It's
when
actually
Kevin-
for everybody else's sake. So
Yeah, this
I
one
was
was
just about to
argue
say
against. Yeah. I mean,
he brings up crazy comparisons of animals and humans. We're not going to get back into that subject, but I cannot.
Crazy.
We got to talk about that offline. But
I got a list
man.
of like
That's a
150
whole
animals
segment.
here, so.
I am muting the Facebook team chat. I am muting that chat right now.
Look,
no,
you
but we
can
got to get
like-
into the gun laws.
Yeah.
I've been talking to Mo behind
Yeah.
the scenes about this. Everyone knows this is coming from Uvalde, Texas, right? And all the legislation is going to be coming out for gun control. I think we're going to see a bipartisan agreement coming out. I do think it'll be more restrictions rather than them banning purchases, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't think America's going to go for that. Even Democrats,
Right.
you're not going to ban purchase of no handguns, but I do see way more restrictions coming, possibly lifting the age limit to potentially 21 on ARs, because it's already 21 for handguns. What do y'all think?
So I got some insider baseball on this. Not going to name my sources, but it does look like this is going to be a pretty sweeping restriction. There seems to be some ideas within both the House and the Senate that this impending Supreme Court decision is going to potentially wipe away any restrictions that are about to be put in place. I'm talking about New York State Pistol and Rifle Association versus Bruin. This could have significant impacts. The Supreme Court just went after Roe v. Wade, so of course it's well within their purview right now to also address the Second Amendment. But it's looking like it's going to be bad. I agree with you, Soonie. They're not going to get away with the handgun ban. Doesn't mean they're not going to scream for it. They're going to use this as a ploy. The Supreme Court's going to come out, basically knock away all the restrictions. The Democrats are going to run on, look at how terrible the Supreme Court the Republicans put in place is. Look at what they're doing. We try to protect you. They prevented us. They just want your children to die. Vote for us in November.
That's facts. Bryson, I know you're.
Wait,
you guys are.
So are you saying? You said you had inside information. Are you saying that they're about to take away restrictions for gun laws? Or are you saying they're about to add more restrictions?
So the Senate and the House are going to pass more restrictions, but the Supreme Court is currently, we're waiting for the announcement of a decision by the Supreme Court on a case called New York State Pistol and Rifle Association versus Bruin. And what the question being asked is, because the victim in the case was trying to get a concealed carry, but because New York is a May issue, they said she didn't provide a reasonable justification to have a concealed carry. So she sued, saying, why does the government get to decide this for me? And the Supreme Court, the question being asked is, does the government requirement for you to prove a need for a weapon violate the Second Amendment? And they could say any requirement whatsoever. The Second Amendment is absolute. There is no restrictions that should be allowed on it. There is a whole range of responses the Supreme Court can reasonably give to this case that could legitimately establish constitutional carry across the country, like the entire country.
Wait, that'd be obviously beautiful, but yeah, basically we're talking about how the government are basically currently trying to pass like the 21-year-old. If they pass that, that'd be like, I mean, it'd be stupid. I mean, it's just, bro, you can't punish legal gun owners for the deeds of evil people.
Yeah.
I don't think, because matter of fact, the shooting in Ovade or whatever, however you pronounce it, it was in a gun-free zone. If gun laws work, first off, that's a bad guy. Why do you have a gun in a gun-free zone? He broke the law. We should do something about it, right? So obviously, people that want to break, and I said this in a song that I'm listening to, people that want to break the law, you can't add more laws thinking that'll stop them from breaking the law. That is quite possibly the dumbest thing I've ever witnessed in my life for people to think that can happen. No, bro, I have a felon in my family. I'm not gonna say which family member it is. I don't know if the FBI be watching. I have a felon in my family. Let me just make it broad. My entire family in all states. And he has more guns than me, or she has more guns than me. And they're not even supposed to have it. You know why? Because it's way easier to get an illegal gun on the street than it is a legal one.
Facts.
So, matter of fact, before I hear any peep from anybody else on planet Earth talk about, well, not since of America, talk about gun laws, fix the illegal guns first, and then you can even talk about it. Because until you do that, I'm not giving my guns for anybody.
Yeah, there is no way to get rid of guns. This gun I have right here in my hand that I'm not going to show on screen because I'm not a moron is from Germany. Like the Democrats, people on the Democratic side legitimately believe, and I'm convinced of this, that America is the only country producing these weapons. They do not realize that absolutely, as soon as you make something illegal, it creates a black market, which means that these guns are going to come flooding over the same border they refuse to shut. And they're going to be like, oh my God, why are there so many guns in our communities? Well, tell me why Chicago is, let me tell you right now, seeing 11 shot and killed so far in June, 50 shot total, or 61 shot total. Like, that's a gun-free zone, pretty much. Like,
well, and Chicago's not even number one. I think it's Seattle.
Chicago, yeah, Seattle wouldn't surprise me either. But these people, Bryson, to answer your question, it is stupid. That's why it's got to be malicious. It's too stupid to not be malicious. Never attribute to malice, but can be attributed to stupidity. And this is not stupid. This is intentional.
Yeah.
Grant
but now they have.
I'm an anarchist. Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Just don't do drugs.
Now they have. I don't know if y'all saw today at the White House press conference. They had Matthew McConaughey at the beginning of the press conference, and he was advocating for raising the age limits for AR-15s, and he was also advocating for red flag laws.
Yep.
Red flag law. I can't even say red flag laws. And it's just getting ridiculous. Soonie mentioned earlier, her and I talk about this quite a bit. And my stance is this: nobody wants to talk about what the real issue is with people who choose to do this and act lawlessness with these weapons, right? Nobody wants to talk about the fact that it's it's godliness. Like, a lack of godliness in the home is what the problem is. And nobody really wants to talk about that. They want to create laws. They want to point fingers at cops. They want to point fingers at teachers. They want to point fingers at this. Nobody wants to talk about what the real issue is. So conversation for me is a tough one, because when I say nobody wants to talk about it, sometimes we don't even want to talk about it. We just want to sit here and debate whether it's a constitutional right or not. And, I'm more about, when are we going to talk about individually as parents, as members of this community, what we could be doing and learning from
Mhm.
why these people commit these crimes and behave this way.
Question: do y'all know the first time a school mass shooting happened?
It was a
No.
girl, wasn't it?
The first school mass shooting wasn't until like, and it was a college. I think it was the 1960s. The first one in the high school was like 90, like 1990 something. My question is, people literally took guns, like kids took guns to schools.
Yeah.
Like for the last like 150 years. Why weren't there school shootings when people take guns? Mass school shootings. Why weren't there mass school shootings when people like literally took guns to schools, had them in the back of the car, had gun shooting classes? Why weren't there any school mass shootings then?
Because the Black Panthers hadn't pissed off Ronald Reagan yet in their policing of Oakland. And so guns weren't seen as evil just yet.
But why weren't the kids? I'm saying my thing is, why weren't the kids getting bullied? I know people got picked on and bullied there and then too.
Oh, for sure.
Why wasn't nobody saying, I'm shooting the whole thing up? Everybody died.
Well, I think it's because you had men who actually taught their children emotional discipline.
And you had
someone can say whatever they want to say about you. My daughter, my kids are so funny. My daughter's like, Mom, this girl says she hates me. And I'm like, oh yeah? Like, how you feel about that? And she's like, I don't care. Like, that's her opinion. She's allowed to have an opinion. It doesn't bother me. Bro,
what that
praise your
just
kids.
Hit that comment back up, please. Yes,
Those
that
kids
one.
went on segments.
Talk to them.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So like I remember, I'm old enough to remember when these would have happened, and the questions would be asked was, what meds was this kid on? What meds were these kids taking? When they were putting me on ADHD medicine, like the questions my parents were asking is like, is this going to have an impact on his behavior? All this other stuff.
Heroin. They don't tell you that though.
No,
Legal
they
heroin.
like why? What happened around 2005? What industry started sponsoring all the news programs across America?
Big pharma.
Pharmaceutical industry. Very strange.
Big pharma.
Yeah.
They should not be allowed to
Which of the
advertise on
recent-
anything.
So true.
Which of the recent shooters were
Which
on
one of
meds?
the shooters were
No,
on
pulling the
meds?
I mean, you have the movie theater shooting. I want to say Dylan Roof. It could be wrong.
Yeah,
I don't think
wouldn't be
people are
surprised
saying
if
this is
Uvalde
the
guy
sole
was too.
reason. The sole reason, but you can't ignore the mental health aspect.
Well,
of it because it's there.
I would say this here. I looked it up, guys, and in all 50 states, there's 300,000 laws on the books.
I remember we talked about this.
Specialized on weapons alone. So now what I'm hearing is 3,001 is going to solve the problem. The first 300,000, the first 300,000 didn't do nothing.
Right.
But this one is going to do it. Y'all, that's called buffoonery.
No, you don't understand. No, you don't understand.
Insanity. What it's called.
You don't understand. These
I
laws
right
are going to scare
understand.
criminals straight, even though
Like,
murder
it's
is illegal.
divide, though,
People still murder.
There's a reason why they're called criminals.
They
Breaking
disobey
news.
the law.
Criminals don't follow the law.
Right.
Damn.
Fun fact. Who would have known?
Who would have known?
Like I said last week.
Boy, Nobel Prize time.
Look,
Of our
you guys
own
are using
Speaker
too
of
much
the
logic.
House. He couldn't follow the law to not drive drunk. Right?
Ain't
there a law?
Pelosi's husband.
Look, I just think that they should be able to sue the car manufacturer for his drunk driving, you know?
And nobody wants to talk about Hunter Biden, who lied on his gun application. Thank you very much.
That was Parmesan cheese.
Mo, stop.
I'm just saying. They don't want to
It's
talk about
alleged, Mo. You cannot say that.
Pure conjecture.
Come
That
on.
was Rudy Giuliani's laptop with Hunter Biden pictures on it.
There's a lot
That
of
was
people
not
in
his
Congress
receipt.
who got DUIs. You know, Ferguson Cawthorn is one of them.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think.
Dude, he got knocked the fuck out of his damn primary. It was
They
glorious
were like,
to watch. We were sitting in the office watching that, and we were like, thank Jesus they can stop installing the wheelchair ramps in the house finally.
I'm saying Dang.
What other solutions when it comes to? And I'm just going to look at it when it comes to school. What solutions should we actually provide for this gun stuff? Because it's really
security.
Like security. So there's like 300. I was gonna say there's 300,000 veterans across this country that are like searching for meaning. One of the things that in the veteran community you find is that there's a lot of missing meaning in a lot of these men's lives. They were out doing something. They were out putting their lives on the line for something. They were living for something greater than themselves day in and day out. That's how they perceive it. And it's that they miss that feeling. Mm-hmm. And if you take these men and you say, here, we're going to give you the responsibility of saving these children's lives if it ever comes to it. Your responsibility is to put yourself between the bullet and those children. I know the police didn't do it, but I guarantee you those veterans will. 100%.
Can I say something though? My family is a military family. Mm-hmm. Most of my uncles are veterans. As much as I love my uncle and I'm grateful for his sacrifice, I would never put him anywhere near a gun.
Not all veterans, obviously. Mm-hmm. But there's
right.
a lot.
I'm just saying that caveat needs to be put in there because people
not
are
all
saying veterans. I would never give him a gun. They already suffered tremendous trauma while over there.
Yes.
I wouldn't be putting them in another situation to where they would be in another traumatic situation, and we don't know how they're going to react. And I think that veterans should have the option to take up these jobs after they pass some sort of mental test to make sure you're good. But also, we have metal detectors at the White House, at the Capitol. We got cameras everywhere.
Airport.
You got armed guards all over the place. Fencing, crazy fencing, crazy roofs. Why can't we do that at a school?
Yeah, and I'm trying. I agree with you 1,000%. I'll get back to solutions in a second.
Yeah.
But here's my thing when it comes to these gun laws coming in. Why are the security and the law enforcement around the politicians? Why did they have an exception in the law for them?
I don't understand it either.
Yeah, let's ask the question. So does this mean taking the AR-15s from the security guards, making your children? Hey, Mr. President, do you think Malia Obama went to a school where the guards were disarmed or there was no guards at all?
Not at all.
No,
absolutely
not at all.
Yeah,
not
I'm pretty sure but you got to remember, those are high value children, not your children.
Exactly.
This is boy.
I don't think there is a solution though. I think there are deterrents we could place, but I don't see a solution.
Yeah. When I say solutions, I mean deterrents. And again, I gotta say, what law in the past has stopped these shootings? And go.
Oh, none.
It was just a culture of accepting guns and like Bryson was saying. My grandpa used to tell me when I got kicked out of high school or middle school for having a little tiny knife in my pocket. My grandpa's response was, "Are you kidding me? I never went to school a single day without my hunting knife. And when I was in high school, there was a shotgun in the rack of my truck." Like there was a different culture around it. You handled your differences in another way. When a kid was getting bullied, you taught the child how to defend themselves.
Quit being a punk.
A strong father taught their child how to properly defend themselves and exercise their demons.
Right.
Can I disrupt a misinformation? The teacher did close the door.
She did.
Yes, she did. She did. She did.
Bottom line is that school was not secure.
No,
all right.
It was not.
I went around. I should have recorded this, but you can get in trouble for recording things on the federal ground. I went around my kids' schools and I pulled at all the doors to see if I can open them. Every single door is locked. I'm not getting through the front door unless I pass some sort of authentication at the front. When they can see my face, they're like, okay, this is Soonie's kids. How hard is it to do that? Lock the doors. Make sure that you have some sort of security before they can even enter the school. Call it a day. We sent $40 billion to Ukraine. We can't give that $40 billion to every school, high school, elementary school in America.
By the way,
I agree.
My job was delivering juice and fixing machines at schools 2 years ago, and I used to drive all around the East Coast. Private schools, there wasn't no unlocked doors at all.
Yeah.
You had, even because I had to go to the cafeteria. At private schools, they made my job 20 times harder, but you still had to go check in at the front, even though I was supposed to be in the back. They still made me check in at the front with the cameras and everything. So I mean, and you don't
My
see
son goes to one, and I got to go through 2 doors to get to the even to get into the
Yes,
school.
sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
The problem is that like at my high school, for example, it's a wide open campus. Like my middle school was a wide open
Yeah,
campus.
so was my
like,
high school.
They've started like the elementary schools and stuff. They finally put some gates around the open area to kind of lock them down. But like, there's a lot of open ones. At the end of the day, we have to be willing as Americans to accept, as Thomas Jefferson says, dangerous freedom, dangerous liberty is always preferable to peaceful slavery.
Yep.
And
I agree.
There's a lot of people that think you can stop it, and you can't. You cannot get rid of all the guns.
No,
You
you
just
cannot.
can't. It is
because
impossible.
You can't stop crime either.
Yeah,
can't.
you're dealing with man. That's the reason why you're dealing with man.
Exactly.
The world is an evil. The world is evil. So what you have to do is
the devil's
how
realm.
can we actually set up deterrents? In other words, and I always say this all the time, whether I'm on Soonie's Live or talking to Bryson or talking to Mo, there's a reason why criminals do not attack police departments.
Because
Why?
they know
that smoke coming.
Yeah.
They know that smoke is coming. There's a reason why they don't attack Air Force bases. They know that smoke is coming.
They see them big boys up there with them big old guns.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Fort Hood did happen. Like there is suicide by cop, but there's a reason why that people don't go rob police stations for all the coke they got locked up in the back.
Sure.
Can I just say something?
Sure.
You know, I love all our military branches, but the Army has to be the most ratchet, dysfunctional branch I have ever had the courtesy of when visiting their bases, man.
Really?
Even
I am
Marines,
offended.
Look,
and if
you could be
you
offended.
weren't correct, I'd be very upset right now.
It's quite this simple. All right, you pull up to the gate. They're like, "Let me see your ID." This is what they do. Okay, go ahead.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
It's not even like they're actually making sure this is a valid ID. Oh, it looks like the rest of them. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That is how it is. You go to an Air Force base, bro. Roll your windows down.
Well, yeah.
They might make you pop the trunk. They might search your car.
Bro, I pulled up to Laughlin Air Force Base.
Like, they don't play.
In Del Rio, and I was going to play golf. And I was invited by somebody that actually works on the
searched
base.
your car.
They pulled up. They was like, no. They said, "Why are you here? What do you want?" And I was like, "I'm here to play golf." Who invited you?
Exactly.
He said, "Who
is your sponsor?"
And I'm like, "Damn, okay." He said, "You may go forward." And I was like, "Damn, why was it so aggressive?"
They scan IDs. Yes. They scan your ID
playing.
on the Air Force base. You
No,
go to
they-
Marines and the Army, bro. They ain't scanning shit.
Well, the thing is you're a spouse. They at the Army bases, you got to go through a whole thing if you're a civilian who's not you got to do that at an Army base. But like if you get a fake one,
Even
get a fake one, you can just you can get in real quick, and they're gun-free zones. Only the MPs
even at
have
Torrey
guns.
Station. All right, Torrey Station is probably a couple miles up from me. Even at Torrey Station, all I have to do is show them a piece of paper. Hey, this is my guest, and I'm good. They're not checking
That's fair.
IDs. They're not
That's
checking
fair.
passports. They don't do none of that.
That's
On
fair.
an Air Force base, they want to know when you're leaving, how long you're going to be there, what part of the base you're in, and if you're caught anywhere else, you're getting kicked out.
Yeah,
Quick
to
clap.
never be able to
Depends on
return.
the Air Force bases are
Listen.
also a lot more likely to have like
play
top
it.
secret stuff. On
I
them.
just want to say this. This is a PSA for all Army bases right now because Sooney's dropping way too much information. Lock your shit down.
I'm just saying, bro.
Lock
Air
your
Army
shit
is so
down.
ghetto, man. I
Hey,
hate going to
Fort
Army bases.
Carson was Fort Carson was
to all
bad
the
when I
Army-
was there.
To all the Army people that's serving, we love y'all to death. We're praying for you.
You can call them ratchet.
Keep moving forward. I'm not calling you ratchet at all. We love you. Okay.
They're ratchet.
Thank you for what you do. Okay. You know
Oh,
what I'm talking about?
snap.
But long live the Marines, baby.
Right.
There is no
Simplify.
cities in America worse than the cities that surround like Army bases almost exclusively, except for like Fort Colorado Springs. Like
I'll even
Killeen,
give you,
Texas is a shithole.
Virginia.
Lawton,
Fort
Oklahoma,
Peters.
trash. Like
Look, all I'm saying is I think that
I didn't realize.
I think that the civilian world could definitely learn from the military world as
Sure.
far as security, who's allowed, who's not. And there's nothing wrong with treating it that way. Although I do get the mistrust of the state. Trust me. I get it. I have those very same fears when my children go to a day at school. I have those fears, but at the end of the day, my husband's an employee and my kids are safe every time they go to school. I don't worry about them.
No, yeah, that's fair. That's very valid.
Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, kind of a sidebar. I didn't realize how big an Army or Air Force base was.
Oh, they're huge.
Yeah,
That's
Fort
the damn
Carson is
city.
massive.
I just said, what the hell is this?
Kadena is half of this island. Seriously. We have movie theaters, we got hospitals,
Yeah. It's like a
grocery
city.
stores, everything you could imagine that's in an
Like
actual
Whole
city.
Foods
We have it.
Like a Walmart, Sam's Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the
yeah.
PX, man. The PX is
That's the
dope.
best. The PX is the best.
Tax
Bunch
free.
of grifters. Bunch
Yeah,
of grifters.
Then you got to consider all the training territory.
All
Like
the grifters.
the Army
Yeah,
owns
man.
At least
Fort
Bryce is
Irwin.
performing for it.
My
You
brother-in-law is in
grifters.
mine.
No play.
There's a military base the size of Rhode Island. I'm not exaggerating. It is literally
Yeah,
as big as
it's
Rhode
huge.
Island.
Good Lord.
And it's all for training. My brother-in-law
All for
is
training?
in
I've been there 3
Orange,
times.
and they train.
Jesus.
Probably 50% of this island is military. They train on all the terrain here.
Yeah.
Good
Oh yeah. No,
God.
the Fort Irwin out there. It's literally on the border of Death Valley, and it is just the worst place in the world. It is just the worst place that's ever existed. And
I be trying to get
Yeah.
Bryson out here, because we got a lot of lefties here on Kadena. I'm like, man, why don't we don't have any groups of like conservative organizations here? I would love if they would let Bryson come perform. That you would
I'll
see
pop out.
heads explode.
I pop out full
They'd be
gear
like,
too.
Military
okay?
is so liberal.
Is this okay? What did he say?
I just want to perform Pride Month.
That's what I want you to
Should we
No,
escort
Lord.
him off the base? What is the general? 5-star here? Can we salute him? What do we do here? I be laughing, but like, what is going on here? But it's all good, y'all.
dude, it's
Nah,
really
this is
worrying
a
though.
good
The
combo.
military's wokeness. I am gonna say that it's really. I saw it when I was like I saw it grow as I was in, and by the time I got out, it was like on the verge, and now it's like, holy yeah, we conservatives. We did it to
Yeah.
ourselves by saying, dude, we don't ever have to worry because at the very least we have the military. And so what was that? Oh, a giant target on the military. Hey, this is our
Not
next
no
thing.
more, man. I get dirty looks. The wives out here.
Yeah.
I walk around in
That's
these
just
shirts.
women.
Some people are like, I like your shirt. Like, that's cool. I've had a few people notice me here, and I'm just like, can you please not tell anybody you saw me? Because the wives here are ridiculous. I see this lady every time I go pick up my kids. She's got this rainbow flag on the back of her car, and right underneath it says BLM. And
Oh,
she's got the
Lord.
purple hair. I'm waiting for her to wear a vagina hat. She irks my nerves.
She
There's
white,
some
ain't she?
silly- She is white.
Yeah, 100%.
It's always the white one.
Because I don't see.
Always the white one.
It's that white guilt. It's very valuable.
I'm gonna
Oh,
keep it
yeah.
a band. I rarely see black people with BLM stickers on their cars. I never see the rainbow stickers on black people cars. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's the white liberal. Shelby, have you guys ever listened to Shelby Steele? He talks about it very he talks about it at length, and it's a real thing. Organizations definitely target and they profit off the idea because once the Civil Rights Act passed, white people lost that moral authority to be able to say anything. And so what you have is when you go to college, this is just taught to you over and over and over again, that concept. And you realize, oh, the only way I can get that moral authority back is by denouncing the other white people and championing myself as an ally.
Yeah.
And
That's
suddenly I'm
weird.
good again.
Nah, that's weird, bro.
Yeah,
I think
that's
weird, bro.
That is, I mean, to be honest, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Hey,
Don't ever say that again.
I'm with you on that, but like,
Don't say that ever again. Lose the thought process. Lose it. Throw it away. It doesn't exist anymore.
nope.
It doesn't.
Yeah, no,
Terrible.
it's
horrid. But
The dumbest thing ever.
Random.
It's the dumb. It's no cap. No cap.
every major civil rights leader in America has basically right before they were assassinated been like, wait a second, these white liberal people kind of suck. And then next thing you know, they're having, they're hanging out on their balcony and taking one in the dome. So
now there's a
Dangerous,
question
man.
from Nikki that says, "Hey guys, what should we expect from the Thursday night hearings?" It's
What
going to be a
hearings?
bunch of the January 6th production.
Oh, God.
These, I'm just give me a second, y'all. Woosah. Okay. These people hired a former ABC producer to produce the entire hearing. It's going to be a full-on production.
Oh Lord.
I knew
And
that.
I'm just like, this is the biggest farce I have seen in my life.
Ladale, it's the darkest day in American history.
Oh, really?
It was the funnest for me. Most fun I've had in this movement. I really do miss those days. I'm not even trolling.
I hear a lot of people do. Honestly, I hear a lot of people complain about us being very complacent and not really stepping up to do much of anything except for Trump rallies, which I feel are completely ineffective. I really do. I feel like they have no purpose.
we're in a lull. It's gonna come back, and it's gonna come back with a vengeance. Not the
What?
Trump aspect, but like that
Listen.
invigoration.
If it does, that'd be beautiful. But let me tell you what I realized. Like anybody that was really there January 6th, you talk to them, they gonna tell you like it really felt like a revolution was starting. Like you felt like we was popping off. As soon as we got a little pushback from Republicans and a little pushback from the media, everybody got scared. There was no more rallies, and every time somebody threw something for real, they was like, "Don't go. It's all feds.
Yep.
It's all
Yep.
feds.
Yep.
Not no real people there."
When did the American Revolution start?
Was it 71? I might be wrong.
It was about like 75, 74.
75? I thought it was a few years earlier because 76 is when it. You might be right. It might start like 74, 75.
Yeah, the Boston Massacre occurred years before the
Yeah,
revolution started. Yeah. So like these things, it takes time, right? You have the initial outburst of like, we don't like this, and then it kind of calms down for a little bit, but then things don't change. I'm promising you, 2024. Republicans are going to sweep. They're going to control the House. They're going to control the Senate. They're going to control the presidency. They're going to have the Supreme Court. 2026, the ATF is still going to exist. The IRS is still going to have all the power it has. The Fed is still going to be around. All these things are going to exist. What do you think is going to happen when the red wave that inspired January 20th, which was given the reprieve of a Biden administration so bad, it knew it was going to win the next round. And then when it won the next round, nothing changed.
So I'm just gonna like burst your bubble. 2020 has not been figured out yet. So
No.
what red wave?
No, so what I'm saying is like in 2020, we lost, right? In 2021, we voiced our frustration. By the end of 2021, it was very clear that this administration was trash. People weren't going to be voting, and in 2024, it's going to win again. Except 2026, it's going to be revealed that you didn't win anything. There is no hope in this system, and people are going to get really pissed off about it. And that's when I think
I'll say this about Kevin real fast. I see what he's actually talking about, because in the Rio Grande Valley in Texas, which is predominantly Hispanic, it is Democrat blue until these primaries. It is blood red. When I say it's blood red, my mother and father-in-law are staunch Democrats. All they voted was Democrat. They are pissed.
Yeah,
a lot of people are, but it's not gonna mean nothing, because when people get pissed, they just vote somebody with an R beside their name is gonna mean something. And I think I get what you're saying. I think I get what you're saying, because you're saying when people realize it really meant nothing that you had the red wave, then people are gonna be pissed off at the entire system. I agree, because I don't know if y'all noticed, but in February it came out that after January 6th and after January 20th, 20% of Republicans switched their party affiliation to independent.
Yes.
Including me, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not. I was registered Republican. I'm not anymore. I'm libertarian now.
I don't know why I registered Republican. I have been registered non-affiliated for most of my life.
I only did it for like 2 years, and then I dropped it.
Yeah, I did it for about a year and a half.
It was that moment, Soonie, that you sat behind Trump. You felt
Bro,
it.
I was famous. I was like, whoa, my face is everywhere. And I was getting pulled in 1,000 different directions. And I'm like, I'm Republican. And then I got a dose of reality, and I was like, man, F both of y'all. And everybody's like, what?
Let me put it this way. So you're like, imagine you're like a 18-year-old kid, right? Like you're 17, almost 18, and like you want a little bit more freedom, and you ask your parents for it, right? And you like make a really good case, and finally you put yourself in a position, you're like, no, like you guys won't let me out of the house, you won't let me go down the street, you won't let me see my friends, I want to go. And like you try to leave, and they stand before you to say, okay, just it's 1:00 in the morning right now. Can we just wait until tomorrow? Okay, can we just wait until tomorrow? And like we're in that period where now you're waiting until tomorrow because you think you're going to get what you want on the other side, but tomorrow's going to come and your parents are still going to have you locked in the house. Imagine how that builds, and that's where we're at right now.
It's possible. I think people are not as I think conservatives are not as like alpha as they say. I think most conservatives are a bunch of pansies.
100%.
With guns, they're genuinely not willing to use if things get to a certain point. And that's the unfortunate reality I've come to have to accept. Because at first, when I first got in this movement, I'm like, boy, if anything go down, we all gonna be ready. Boop, 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 boop. Then, like over the last like year and a half, 2 years, I've slowly realized, like, yo, none is gonna happen. People are really pansies, like in all aspects of every aspect of everything, and it's kind of depressing.
You know what exposed it though? January 6th exposed it. A lot. It did.
It did.
But then you put the cherry on top, where you literally have the gays like pushing and infiltrating, and they're like, well, I guess I can bend on this. Well, okay, we have the same views. That January 6th was it for me. I got off the Trump train.
Me too.
Vocally. And I lost all of my followers. That was
for me. I got the Republican train. The Trump ain't really start. He pissed me off with Jan 6, but he really ain't start pissing me off. Like it really like pissed me off heavy with the vaccine stuff. That started.
Best vaccine ever. I don't want to hear shit out of you.
That started irritating me, and then what started irritating me more is when he said things that was like literally the same things I saw people like getting mad at Joe Biden for, and he was doing. Matter of fact, Trump promoted the vaccine more than Joe Biden. This is an objective fact. And when I saw conservatives,
he created it.
When I saw conservatives basically letting Trump get away with every single thing, like nothing he could do wrong, my eyes open like, oh, this might sort of be a little bit cult-like. But then I saw him get booed in Alabama. I'm like, there's some real people out here. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's like, okay, there's some real people, but the majority of the time, bro, he brought out Johnson & Johnson. This is my last thing. We brought out Johnson & Johnson. After that, conservatives literally was telling me, well, Johnson & Johnson is actually the good vaccine. You just said all of them were bad. Now today, Johnson & Johnson is a good one because Trump brought him out. No, that's crazy.
Hey,
that's crazy.
You remember when Don Q went after me?
My man said, oh, not only that, Trump and what's the name? The homo attacking Kathy Barnett. And then the Q people was like, well, he's purposely attacking Kathy Barnett because he wants her to win. And it's like 5D chess, bro. You know it's 5D chess. like she's going to win, bro. Just trust the plan, bro. 5D chess. And then she lost and they hear Pete.
Look, see, I'm still, and Soonie laughs at me for this. I have this love-hate with Trump sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I think his time as president is done, but at the same time it scares me because I'm not seeing anybody else that I really like would go for.
Dave Smith.
And I don't really trust politicians in general. Not that we should have ever trusted politicians in general, but at this point I'm just like, man, I don't know who to believe. I don't know what to believe anymore. Look, everybody's talking sideways.
How he get played, bro?
Look, Trump didn't fire Fauci. Trump was the one that was like helping push the COVID lockdowns. Trump was the one that was like,
yes, he criticized. What country was it that didn't lock down? It was one country that didn't lock down, and he criticized Sweden. He criticized them on live TV.
And we were over. I just want to say, us libertarians were sitting here like, look at what Sweden's doing. Can we start doing that? Like, I just want to tell people, like, libertarians right now, this movement going on, all we want is you to be able to live your damn life the way you please. Just keep that shit away from my children.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about libertarians. That's why, like,
that's
personally, like no disrespect to libertarians. Libertarians kind of like have no real moral code. And
West.
Like the Mises Caucus is conservative. Like, well, not conservative necessarily, but it's like it's very much on a moral level. Like I said, keep it away from my children. That's why I want school choice, so you can keep it away from my freaking
But if
children.
it's a free for all, they have the option to put it around your children. You need
not like they're not going to live in my state where I'm allowed to open carry guns, where abortions are illegal, where drugs are illegal. They're not going to live in my state.
Blair
They're going to
White
live in the
can't
state
live
where all
in your
that stuff is
state.
legal, and they're going to drive it in the fucking ground. Let them do that.
No, Blair White likes guns. He's gonna be around your kids with a dress on, and you're gonna
Right.
you're gonna have to call him Mrs. And your kids
No,
are
I'm
gonna grow
not.
up knowing that it's huh?
No, I'm not.
That's rude.
The place I'm going to
You're
live is
not
not
call
going
him
to stand by that
Mrs.
shit.
That's rude. You're not gonna call him Miss Blair White. Come on, bro.
He'll be married by then. It'll be Mrs.
Oh,
Yeah, for
Oh, hell no.
Lord.
If anything, we need to be repealing same-sex marriage. I'm down with
And the
that.
19th.
Hey,
In the
libertarians should be for repealing the same-sex marriage thing because the Supreme Court overrode the votes that the
Yep.
people did in
Yeah,
every
I
state.
remember that.
Yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, libertarians support like repealing that because like
Well,
states voted against it.
The Mises Caucus recently took over, and we got rid of a lot of that woke shit out of our platform. We got rid of most of the woke shit. The Mises Caucus is just anti-woke as hell. Like,
If you
Like,
if you guys aren't woke, then why the hell did you let a woman run for president?
that's
as a
because we weren't in
libertarian?
charge. We just took over at the last week at the national convention. The Mises Caucus took over. There's a lot of libertarians that have left because they're the libertarians that Bryson was describing, the ones without a moral compass, the ones that were just like, that's fine, let them do what they want. No, like I'm conservative, right? I want my right to have my community. Like I want drugs to be legalized on federal level, and then I'm going to live in a place where we don't do drugs. I want guns to be legalized at all levels, and then like you go do your shit. I don't care. You're not allowed to come onto my property. You're not allowed to indoctrinate my children, and I'm going to send them to a place where you can't touch them.
I just think, honestly, never mind. You know me, I'm extreme. I just think a lot of people need to, at the very least, like if we're not gonna start throwing people off roofs, then we need to start deporting people.
Yeah.
Can
Not
we
just
Thanos snap?
you deport them through states' rights, Bryson. You allow states to actually dictate these things and make it so that they don't want to live like you live in Texas where like abortion. You live in a state where abortion's illegal, drugs are illegal, guns are legal, and you have that conservative paradise. They're not going to want to live there. The reason why they do what they do is so that they can allow themselves to the freedom to be wherever they want. You must follow their laws so that if they move to take over your area, you have to have it. The way it was designed was so that California could be as liberal psycho as they want, and I'm from California, so I know firsthand, and Texas can be as conservative as they want, or Mississippi can be as conservative as they want.
I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, libertarians are for if you're logically consistent, you're for the repealing of anti-discrimination laws, because if you want to
discriminate whoever you want,
let black people in, I'm going to start a business that does, and I'm going to take all your money. Like, go for it. Like,
hey, a conservative that really caught my eye with this whole Pride Month, and he's like unapologetic. We need to bring back shaming. I was going crazy on the live. He was in my comment section. Chad O. Jackson, bro. Savage.
What? He based like that?
Savage.
No, he ain't.
He was vibing with me. He was in the live commenting, and he's like, "Look, I believe in public humiliation." Yeah.
I didn't think he was. Nice. Hold on, let me go. Chad,
we followed each other.
Dude,
he followed me out of the blue, and then I started looking at his videos, and I'm like, I like this guy. That's one conservative that needs to be put on a hell of a platform.
What's his name? Soonie? Chad?
He's hella smart. Chad O. Jackson.
Oh, yeah. I love Chad.
He's been basically, he is fire. I love that guy.
Chad, cool.
Dude, shame is an important tool.
It is. We need to bring it back.
Yeah, that's one of the things I loved about Jordan Peterson that he talked about was like the importance of shame in like actually getting people to do stuff. Like
we were talking about Dave Rubin,
and that's why I do it. That's why I shame people. Think about music. Like if you listen, like people get mad. People like a lot of Christian rappers are mad at Pride Month. They're all like, he went too far. Shut up, punk. But the real reason, like the whole point of the Pride Month video, I wanted you to see how much fun I was having just knowing I was offending you. Like that's why I was like leaning with it, rocking with it, because you need to be shamed while you're a grown adult. Because in reality, I'm keeping it a band. if you're a homo and you're like comfortable with yourself, why do you give a crap if I'm burning the pride flag in my music video? Why do you care? Why?
It's a legitimate flag, anyways.
And I bought it with my money. I can do whatever I want with it. I actually supported homos technically, but why? Like seriously, why do you care? You care because you're not comfortable with yourself, and you care because you grew up being participation trophy award culture. You grew up being taught that you can do whatever you want and everybody has to follow you. No, I'm burning a pride flag in your face. I'm gonna call you my favorite word, the F word, and I don't curse, so I'm gonna call you my favorite words in your face and out loud because shaming works.
See, what Bryson meant to say is he disagrees with that pride movement, and he takes great pleasure in offending those that actually like that flag. He actually supported the LGBTQ plus movement by buying the flag itself.
I love when Ladale translates.
This is why we call you Saint Ladale.
He actually, what he actually did, he supported the movement. Now, what he did afterward did not really shake hands with that support. but let's look at the financial act he did by actually buying the flag.
It was $10.96, and I got it next day air.
Hey. So in other words, Cats, what he did was he actually bought the flag for $10. And then he paid another $6 or $7 in shipping. So $17. So that goes a long way. Somebody got fed today.
You're doing the capitalist thing.
Fed today.
Yep, Ladale, you haven't translated in a while. I like when Ladale translates. It's so
love
funny.
it.
It is hilarious.
See, what Soonie just said was,
that's a gift.
I'm about that action, boss.
That's a gift.
About that action, boss. That's all that means, baby. Bishop Ora is in the building. Or Bishop Ora.
All right, guys. Well, we are like almost half an hour past the time we usually stay, and we've had so much fun having you guys on. I asked in the chat who wanted to have you back. Everybody wanted to have you back except for some lefty stupid person in the and that's their name. I'm not calling them lefty stupid. That's actually what they call themselves in the chat. But I think it was a really, really great discussion. I'm glad you guys were on the show today. Real quick, the show.
I said for sure.
Oh, for sure. I thought you said what show?
No, for sure.
Go ahead for the people who joined late and didn't hear your guys' handles in the beginning. Go ahead and give that out, and then we are gonna peace out of here for the night.
I'll go first because I'm better than Bryson. It's okay, Bryson. It's all good. My handles, guys, is my first and last name, Ladale Bugs. You can find me on Instagram, True Social. I'm on there. Getter, Twitter, all platforms. Just put in my first and last name, and you'll see me. And be happy because you see me.
What I want to promote, if Soonie can bring on the screen, follow me. I have like the coolest like merch. You feel me? If Soonie can put on the screen, new merch to drop. Promise not pride. Promise not pride t-shirt. You feel me? Because Christians can no longer be quiet and be scared to do stuff. They wear all their pride homo stuff all the time. Matter of fact, I was at the mall. I saw a girl with a shirt that said "Not today, Jesus," and had the new rainbow flag and had the Baphomet head on the shirt. Yeah, so if you go to BrysonCraze2.com and if Soonie can pull it up, get the Promise Not Pride shirt.
Go get it.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be
Bryson meant to say.
If Bryson ever offers shipping to my faraway location.
Yeah, go to apparel and then go to the third page. Should be the third page, I think.
What Bryson is saying is help him raise money to pay for kids not to go to college, because they're not going to any college at all. They're going to the College of Bryson Gray. It's not accredited at all. Not accredited at all. It has no appeal to authority at all. But it helps Bryson and
no street.
Hey, no cap. Listen, screw college. Stop sending your kids to college. All they do is come out idiots anyway, and they don't
Hey.
learn it. And they don't know disrespect, and they don't learn it. You know, the newer people, and they don't learn any skills.
I feel offended.
I just graduated 2 weeks ago.
I'm
Come on.
offended. I have a degree on my wall.
Hey, all I'm saying is, bro, you need to learn how to build houses, learn a skill, because them things last forever.
Yeah.
Or you can have a talent, make music, produce music.
I've got a talent for hooking.
Right.
I think Kevin, aren't you a rapper? Aren't you a rapper?
No, I was a gift wrapper at Macy's and I got fired on my second day.
Okay. So rogue rapper. I got you.
Yeah, no, not at all.
It's so good, baby.
Hey, Ladale, you forgot to mention your Real Estate Fridays course because I know a lot of people like talking about the financial stuff. So if y'all want to check out Ladale, you do a Friday. Where's it at? Every
Friday, guys, on Instagram, we do a Real Estate Friday training. We go over a certain topic in real estate, and it's either myself and Cliff Hunter. Cliff Hunter is a licensed appraiser, active investor, and also a general contractor. He handles all of our stuff nationwide when it comes to that type of stuff. All we do is we talk about this real estate the entire time. Ask questions. We'll bring you on. If you have any questions, just let us know.
It's really
Facts.
interesting. Cool.
Please go get a Jesus Wins shirt. All right. Go get
it.
Don't be ashamed to say Jesus Wins. And I also got a new shirt. I didn't really advertise the shirt because I know people are iffy with swear words. But, a lot of people get triggered by my post. So I felt like it was necessary to tell people if the shoe fits, wear it. That's what I've been saying all month long.
Wear that shit.
Soonie just said, buy my shirt now.
Do it.
It's all good, y'all. Thank y'all for the invitation. Y'all appreciate you guys.
It was a pleasure having you.
It was fun.
It was
Hey,
tons
you
of
guys
fun.
know that I
Thank you.
do every Tuesday after the show. I get on Instagram and I bring these topics to IG and we discuss with everyone. So if you want to tune in for a little after show, I'm not going to be on for long. I need to be outdoors and doing something. It's summer break for the kids. But if you want to tune in to IG, we'll be live in about 10 minutes. And I'll bring different people on to discuss. We're going to be talking about the whole pride thing in more depth.
Okay. Because I was about to say, please don't be talking about why do Black women hate their features? Why do men?
Well, Black women hate themselves. That's another topic, though.
Man, Ladale was confused yesterday. He was like, "What is the point?"
I'm sitting there, I'm like, y'all, what's the goal of this conversation? It don't make no damn sense.
It was no goal. It was for me to trigger everyone into seeing how
what you do,
hypocritical we are.
Yeah,
it's all good.
All right,
like Kevin, man.
You guys have a
good to see you, big dog.
Hey, it's good to see you too. You're gonna be. By the way, folks, I will be having Ladale on my morning show.
Don't talk about animals, man.
I will make it better
about
than
animals.
Kevin has ever done.
What?
I'll make Kevin's show even better than what it is.
Yeah, it's not difficult to do, but you're definitely going to make it one of the best.
It's all good. Bryson, man, mention my name on one of your songs because it's me.
I've been waiting.
I got you.
I've been waiting.
Yeah,
I got you.
All right, y'all. God bless you guys.
Bye, guys.